Beloved soul, listen closely. You are not chasing money. Money is finding you. You are not begging for abundance. Abundance is recognizing you. You are not separate from wealth. You are the essence through which wealth expresses itself. Every breath you take, every heartbeat that sustains you, is already proof that divine substance flows to you without resistance. That same current that gives you air, gives you prosperity. Money is not against you. Money is not judging you. Money is not hiding from you. Money loves you. Say that silently and let it vibrate in your heart. Money loves me. Feel the truth behind it. Not as a wish, but as a revelation. For centuries, humanity has been taught to fear money, to chase it with anxiety, or to reject it with guilt. But the law of divine supply says what you fear flees, what you love returns. So when you say, money loves me, you are not making an affirmation of greed. You are making an affirmation of harmony. You are healing the wound between spirit and substance. You are remembering that God does not withhold wealth. The mind does. Every thought of lack is a shadow. Every thought of gratitude is light. You are called to walk in the light of prosperity, for prosperity is not something you earn. It is something you align with. The divine substance of the universe responds instantly to love. And when you love money as divine energy, it begins to recognize your voice. Money is alive, conscious, responsive. It listens to the tone of your emotions. It follows the melody of your beliefs. When you say, money loves me, you awaken it. You tell it, I am no longer afraid of you. I no longer worship you. I no longer worship you. I honor you. And money, relieved to be loved again, begins to return home to you. You are not here to serve money. You are here to let money serve the good within you. Every dollar that passes through your hands carries vibration. If your vibration is gratitude, it multiplies. If your vibration is fear, it dissolves. So bless it. Bless every bill, every coin, every digital number that represents it. Whisper to it, you are holy energy. You are love in circulation. You are divine supply in motion. Say with me softly, I am a magnet for divine prosperity. Money loves me. Opportunities recognize me. I am guided by infinite intelligence. Let these words melt into your consciousness. In the divine order of the universe, money is never scarce. It is infinite. Like air. It flows where it is welcomed. It flows where it is honored. It flows where it is trusted. You were never meant to struggle for it. You were meant to receive it through peace. When you try to chase it, it runs. When you rest in the knowing that you are already provided for, it begins to follow your peace. Money loves peaceful people. Money loves givers. Money loves those who bless it when it comes and bless it when it goes. For it knows it will always return. Beloved, begin to speak to it as your friend. Money, I love you for what you allow me to create. I love you for helping me bless others. I love you for the freedom you bring to my days and the comfort you bring to my family. I release all guilt for desiring you, for desiring comfort, for desiring ease. I am worthy of abundant support. I am worthy of peace. The universe is not testing you. It is responding to you. The moment you release shame around money, divine law begins to correct your experience. The doors that once seemed locked begin to open. Ideas begin to sparkle in your mind. People begin to appear who say, I was just thinking of you. That is money responding to your energy. That is divine love expressing itself as financial ease. Repeat this truth until it becomes part of your breath. Money loves me. I am worthy of wealth. I am safe with wealth. I am guided by divine supply. Money is not the goal. Love is. But love always brings its gifts. And money is one of them. When you learn to see money not as an enemy, but as an instrument of love, you rise into spiritual maturity. You stop asking for pennies and begin receiving rivers. You stop worrying about tomorrow and begin living as though heaven already supports you. Because it does. Remember this: every time you spend, you are circulating divine energy. Every time you receive, you are completing the circle of abundance. It is not about how much, it is about how freely it flows. The miser blocks the stream, the grateful giver multiplies it. So release, bless, and affirm: the more I give, the more I receive. The more I love, the more money loves me. Let these words sink deep. Money loves me. Wealth is drawn to me. Prosperity recognizes me. I am one with the rich substance of the universe. Pause for a breath and feel it. You are in the vibration of abundance now. Not because you forced it, but because you remembered it. Money is not something you chase, dear one. It is something you attract through alignment. When you remember your divine identity, money finds its way to you effortlessly, joyfully, peacefully. And so it is. And it always will be. Everything you desire already exists in vibration. Before it becomes money in your account, it exists as energy in your field. Before it becomes opportunity in your hand, it is a thought in your heart. Nothing comes from outside you. Everything flows through you. That is the divine law of vibration. You are not attracting things by chance, you are tuning into them by frequency. The universe is a grand orchestra, and you are both the musician and the melody. When you vibrate lack, you hear echoes of need. When you vibrate gratitude, you hear the music of abundance. Money is vibration. It feels. It senses the frequency of your emotions. When you say, I am ready to receive, the universe asks, do you feel ready? Because words are not enough, feeling is the real prayer. Say it now and mean it. I am open. I am ready. I am receptive to divine supply. Let the vibration move through your body like light. Many people ask, why do I affirm and see no change? The answer is vibration. You cannot speak abundance while vibrating fear. You cannot affirm wealth while vibrating worry. The two cannot dance together. You must become what you wish to receive. That is the secret. You must feel wealthy before wealth arrives. You must feel safe before safety manifests. You must feel loved before love appears. Because vibration is creation. Repeat softly. I now vibrate to the frequency of abundance. I now align with the rhythm of divine prosperity. Money loves my vibration because it feels peace when it enters my field. When you are calm, money flows. When you are anxious, it hesitates. Because anxiety speaks the language of doubt, and doubt repels divine order. Peace speaks the language of trust, and trust magnetizes miracles. Look around you. The trees are not struggling to grow. The rivers are not begging to flow. They simply stay in harmony with their divine pattern. You too have a pattern of wealth. A divine design that cannot be erased, only forgotten. And every time you affirm, money loves me, you are remembering your true pattern. Vibration is not something you force, it is something you allow. It is not about repeating words until you are tired. It is about letting those words sink deep enough that they change your emotional tone. When your tone changes, your life rearranges. Say this with a slow heart: I am calm. I am safe. I am wealthy. Money feels peace when it is with me. I am a sanctuary for divine supply. That is the vibration of receiving. The universe does not send wealth through struggle. It sends it through resonance. When you feel rich in gratitude, life finds ways to match it. A door opens, an opportunity calls, a client says yes, a bill gets paid unexpectedly. That is not luck. That is vibration obeying divine law. The law of vibration says, you can only receive what you match. So stop trying to chase and start trying to feel. Stop trying to control and start trying to allow. The act of receiving is sacred. It is not passive. It is spiritual action. The action of surrender. When you say, I am ready to receive, you are telling the universe, I trust you. And the moment trust enters your heart, resistance leaves. Repeat it again. I trust the divine process. I trust the divine timing. I trust that what is mine will never miss me. I trust that money finds joy in my presence. You do not have to force it. You do not have to earn it. You simply have to become a match for it. Your energy introduces you before your words do. When your vibration says, I am abundant, people feel it. Opportunities feel it. The right connections feel it. You do not need to convince the world. The vibration does it for you. That is why you must watch your thoughts, protect your emotions, and guard your peace. Peace is your wealth frequency. Gratitude is your signal to the universe. Love is your magnet. Say it with faith. I love the vibration of money. I love the vibration of ease. I love the vibration of freedom. I love being in harmony with divine supply. There is no competition in divine law. You do not steal someone's blessing by receiving yours. The supply is infinite. When you raise your vibration, you do not take. You tune in. The airwaves of abundance are always broadcasting. You simply decide to tune your heart to the right channel. If you wish to change your finances, do not fight the outside. Change the inner. Feel wealthy when you wake up. Feel grateful when you eat. Feel rich when you breathe. That vibration sends a signal stronger than any action alone. And then, when you act, your actions carry divine energy. Every idea becomes magnetic. Every effort becomes multiplied. Because when vibration and action unite, manifestation becomes inevitable. Say softly, my vibration is my invitation. I invite abundance. I invite wealth. I invite divine surprises. And so the universe responds. It never ignores a calm, trusting heart. It always moves toward the one who vibrates love. Money loves that vibration. Money recognizes it instantly, because money itself is love in form. When you love money without fear, it becomes loyal to you. When you appreciate money without worship, it serves you faithfully. Breathe and whisper again. My money loves me. Together we serve divine good. My vibration is rich. My soul is abundant. My life is overflowing. Stay in that frequency. Let it hum beneath your breath as you go about your day. You are no longer waiting for abundance. You are radiating it. You are no longer asking for proof. You are becoming the proof. You are the evidence of divine prosperity in motion. Money feels your peace. Money feels your gratitude. Money feels your faith. And because it feels loved, it loves you back. And so it is. And so it continues. Forever and ever. Under grace and in perfect harmony. Beloved, before money flows freely, the heart must be healed. Before prosperity arrives, guilt must be dissolved. Before wealth stays, fear must leave. For money does not live in numbers, it lives in belief. And if belief says, I am unworthy, then even a fortune will fade. But if belief says, I am one with divine supply, then even a dollar will multiply. You were not born with lack. You were taught it. You were not born with fear of money. You inherited it from generations that suffered. But now, you are the bridge of healing. You are the turning point of the bloodline. You are the one who says, it ends with me. Say it now, I release all false beliefs about money. I release fear, guilt, shame, and unworthiness. I am healed by divine truth. There was a time when you were told that wanting more was wrong. That wealth was selfish. That comfort was sin. But hear me now, God is not glorified by your struggle. The divine does not celebrate your worry. The universe rejoices when you prosper in peace. Every time you feel guilty for desiring wealth, remember, it is not greed, it is divine expansion. You are not stealing from the poor when you prosper. You are showing them what's possible when faith is stronger than fear. Say softly, I am allowed to be wealthy. I am allowed to be supported. I am allowed to receive. Money is not the root of evil. Fear is. Money is not corruption. It is creation. It becomes what you are. If your heart is pure, your wealth will bless. If your mind is kind, your riches will heal. So heal the mind that says, I can't afford this. Heal the voice that whispers, it's too hard. Heal the memory that says, people like me never make it. Every time you say those words, you create walls. But every time you affirm truth, you open gates. The universe cannot pass through fear, but it can flow through faith. Repeat softly, I am worthy of abundance. I am safe with wealth. I am healed from all scarcity beliefs. Money feels peace in my hands. I am the divine distributor of good. Do not blame yourself for old beliefs. You were only repeating what you saw. But now that you know better, speak better. For words are the sculptors of reality. Every word is a tool in your hands, carving your new life. Instead of saying, I can't aligned yet. Instead of saying, I never have enough. Say, I am expanding into more. Instead of saying, money is hard to earn. Say, money flows to me easily and joyfully. The mind learns by repetition, and so does the heart. So repeat these sacred words until they replace the old ones completely. Money loves me. I love money. I am a clear, healed, open vessel for divine wealth. I am forgiven, I am free, I am flowing. Every belief of lack is a bruise in the subconscious. But affirmation is light, and light heals. When you speak abundance daily, you are bathing your inner child in the love it never received. You are telling that younger you, it's safe now. We are supported now. The struggle is your eyes, and imagine your inner child holding a golden coin. That coin shines with divine light. It is not money from the world. It is money from the infinite. It represents peace, security, trust, and joy. Now see that child smile and say, money loves me. Let that moment heal the memory of every time you were told, we can't afford it. Let it rewrite every memory of fear and lack. Let it dissolve every guilt of wanting more. Say a lie, I am not my past. I am my divine potential. I am not what they told me about money. I am what divine law says I am. Prosperous, protected, and loved. Money is not something you chase, it is something you allow. The more you forgive yourself, the more you allow. The more you release resentment, the more space you make for blessings to enter. Forgive your past self for the debts. Forgive your parents for their fears. Forgive society for its lies. And whisper, I forgive and I am free. I forgive and I prosper. I forgive and I rise. Forgiveness heals the energy field, and healed energy is magnetic. Nothing repels money faster than guilt, and nothing attracts it faster than peace. So walk in peace. Speak peace. Spend with peace. And when money comes, say, welcome, my friend. When money goes, say, thank you for serving your purpose. This is how you heal your relationship with wealth. Money is not against you. It has been waiting for you to stop fighting it. It is ready to dance with you again. Gently, joyfully, abundantly. Breathe deeply now and repeat, I am healed. I am whole. I am wealthy in thought, word, and feeling. I am the living expression of divine abundance. When you heal your beliefs, you heal your vibration. When you heal your vibration, you heal your finances. When you heal your finances, you heal generations. The energy that once carried fear now carries light. The pattern that once attracted struggle now attracts support. Because you remembered the truth, money was never the enemy. Fear was. Now that you are healed, fear no longer lives here. Only peace, only divine prosperity remain. Say one last time with conviction, money loves me, because I love truth. Money stays with me, because I stay in peace. Money blesses me, because I bless it. I am healed, whole, and one with infinite supply. And so it is. Under grace. In perfect timing, forever and always. Money is not meant to be stored in fear, It is meant to move in faith. It is the river of divine substance, not the pond of possession. When you cling to money with worry, it stagnates. When you release it with trust, it circulates. Circulation is creation. Giving is growing. Blessing is multiplying. The divine law says, whatever you send out returns to you, multiplied and magnified. When you give love, love returns. When you give peace, peace expands. When you give money with joy, it comes back with blessings attached. Say softly, I am a channel of divine circulation. Money flows through me easily and joyfully. Every dollar I spend blesses all it touches and returns to me tenfold. You see, many people hold money with clenched fists, thinking that safety lies in control. But safety does not live in control. It lives in faith. What is held too tightly cannot breathe. What cannot breathe cannot grow. You cannot serve divine law with fear in your hands. Money is alive. It wants to move. It wants to work for good. When you bless money as it leaves your hand, you are telling the universe, I trust the flow. And the universe, hearing your trust, sends the current back stronger. Repeat this gently. Every dollar I spend returns multiplied. Every bill I pay blesses the world and blesses me. I am not losing. I am circulating divine energy. You are not losing money when you give. You are planting it. You are not wasting it when you bless. You are watering it. The soil of gratitude guarantees the harvest. Say it again, I give in joy, and I receive in grace. Even tithing, when done in love, is not an obligation but a vibration. A sacred acknowledgement that all good comes from God and returns to God. When you give your 10% with peace, the remaining 90 becomes blessed beyond measure. The miser feels fear and calls it wisdom. But divine wisdom is generosity without attachment. For every seed kept in the hand dies unused, but every seed planted grows in silence. Money grows in silence too. The quiet act of blessing it as you release it. The whispered, thank you pay. The gentle smile as you give. These unseen moments multiply your prosperity. Say softly, money loves to serve through me. I am not afraid to let it go, because it always finds its way back home to me. The ocean never fears giving a wave to the shore. It knows that what goes out will return. You too are an ocean of divine substance. You cannot run out. You can only run over. So when you give with a smile. When you pay, say, this money blesses all it touches. When you receive, say, thank you, divine source, for trusting me with more. Every act of circulation proves that the universe is alive and responsive. The more you bless what you release, the faster it returns. The more you appreciate what you receive, the more doors open. Repeat with faith, I bless my money as it goes. I bless my income as it comes. I bless every channel through which divine supply flows. I am open, I am giving, I am abundant. You were never meant to hoard, you were meant to harmonize. When you stop fearing lack, the divine law stops testing you with it. Money begins to trust you because you trust it. You stop clinging and start circulating. And circulation is life. Look at the body, the blood must flow or the organs wither. Look at the sky, the wind must move or the air grows heavy. Look at the heart, love must give or it aches. So too with money, it must move to stay alive. The divine order is circulation. What you give with joy cannot be lost. What you release in faith cannot be wasted. What you send in love cannot vanish. It multiplies invisibly and returns when you least expect it. Say now, money moves through me as divine current. I am a river of wealth, I give freely. I receive abundantly. I circulate divine blessings everywhere I go. The more peace you feel in giving, the more ease you feel in receiving. The more love you pour into your transactions, the more harmony fills your life. Soon you begin to see. It was never about spending or saving. It was always about circulating divine love through every form called Oh, beloved, the secret of abundance is not more. It is flow. Let it flow through you without fear. Let it flow from you without worry. And the universe will ensure it flows back to you without limit. Money is a mirror of your belief. If you believe giving weakens you, it will. If you believe giving strengthens you, it will. So choose strength. Choose joy. Choose faith. Say with a calm heart, I am a divine distributor of good. Money flows in. Money flows out, always in perfect rhythm. I live in the infinite flow of divine wealth. Every time you give, you expand the universe. Every time you bless, you open new channels. Every time you release, you rise higher in trust. You are not spending. You are sending love on assignment. Every note, every coin, every transaction carries your vibration. Let it carry peace. Let it carry gratitude. Let it carry divine confidence. Then, and when it returns, it brings companions, unexpected income, new ideas, kind people, open opportunities. All this comes because you chose to circulate instead of control. Say softly, money loves to move through me. I am safe to give. I am safe to receive. I am part of the divine circulation of infinite supply. Now feel that flow. It moves through you like golden light. From the source, through your heart, to the world, and back again. You are not the end of the flow. You are the channel. And as long as the channel stays open, the river never runs dry. Money is flowing. Blessings are flowing. It is all divine, and so it is. And so it continues, endlessly, under grace and in perfect harmony. Beloved soul, the outer world is only a mirror. Whatever you see in your finances is not punishment. It is reflection. Money does not come to prove your worth. It comes to reveal what you believe about it. When the inner world says, I am abundant, the outer world agrees. When the inner world says, I am afraid, the outer world echoes that fear. Everything you experience in your finances is feedback from your faith. And so the spiritual law says, as within so without. The condition of your bank account is not your destiny. It is your vibration written in numbers. Say softly, my outer world mirrors my inner belief. I now choose faith over fear, gratitude over worry, and abundance over lack. Money does not appear by force. It appears by reflection. When you hold an image of plenty in your mind and gratitude in your heart, the universe must copy that pattern. It has no choice. The universe is a faithful mirror. It never disobeys your vibration. If you say, I never have enough, the mirror agrees. If you say, I am always provided for, the mirror agrees again. So speak what you want to see, not what you fear to feel. You do not fix a mirror by wiping the glass. You fix it by changing the image it reflects. You do not fix money by chasing it outside. You fix it by changing the thought within. Say this now. I am wealthy in emotion. I am abundant in word. Therefore, my outer life must reflect inner prosperity. There are no neutral thoughts. Every word you speak about money carries power. When you say, I can't afford, you shut the door. When you say, I'm open to the gates of heaven, money is not listening to your logic, it listens to your language. Your words are commands. Your affirmations are instructions to the universe. So every time you speak, speak as a creator. Say, I am grateful for the abundance I see, and for the abundance I am becoming. The poor in spirit are not those without money. They are those who forgot they are creators. True wealth begins in remembrance. You must remember that you are the image and likeness of infinite supply, not a beggar of it. You are not waiting for blessings. Blessings are waiting for your belief. You are not running toward wealth. Wealth is waiting for you to recognize it already surrounds you. Say with feeling, I see prosperity everywhere I go. I bless the wealth I see in others. I mirror it within myself. I am rich in consciousness. When you bless another's success, you become a match for it. When you envy it, you block it. Blessing is a mirror cleaner. It clears your reflection so that your own good can find you. Money mirrors your emotional home. If peace lives within you, peace lives within your finances. If gratitude fills your heart, opportunities will fill your days. If fear dominates your thinking, lack will visit until you release it. But do not be afraid of these reflections. They are not punishment. They are guidance. They are the universe saying, "Here is where you forgot your truth." Each moment of lack is a loving reminder to return to abundance. Say, "Now I am always provided for." The universe never forgets me. I am the reflection of divine wealth in motion. Your thoughts are magnets. Your emotions are mirrors. Together they shape the image called your life. That is why daily affirmation is sacred practice. It polishes the mirror of the mind. It replaces the dust of doubt with the shine of faith. Each morning you can choose to look into your mirror and declare, "Today I see wealth everywhere. Today I radiate abundance. Today I magnetize opportunities. Today I receive divine surprises." Soon, the mirror begins to respond. The right people appear, and the perfect timing unfolds. And you realize it was never luck. It was reflection. When you worry, your reflection darkens. When you trust, it brightens. When you love, it glows. Money follows light. Always say softly, "I am light. I am love. I am peace. I am prosperity." Money recognizes my light and mirrors it back to me as abundance. The truth is simple: you do not earn prosperity. You remember it. You do not chase money. You become its mirror. You do not fight for supply. You align with divine reflection. Each time you choose faith, you polish the mirror. Each time you bless instead of complain, you brighten the reflection. Each time you give thanks for what you have, you magnify what's coming. Let gratitude be your daily glass cleaner. Let love be your reflection. Let divine truth be your frame. And then watch your outer life transform quietly, beautifully, naturally. Not because you forced it, but because you reflected it. Say again, "My inner world is rich. My thoughts are abundant. My words are prosperous. My life reflects divine opulence. Money mirrors my peace." And when doubt tries to whisper, look into your inner mirror and say, "I see light. I see abundance. I see enough. I am enough." The mirror of wealth is never broken. It only waits for you to see clearly again. And the moment you do, divine order restores everything that was lost. So stand tall, breathe deeply, and affirms, "I am the reflection of divine abundance." Money flows toward my peace. Prosperity mirrors my gratitude. My reality now matches my faith. And so it is. And so it continues in perfect reflection, under grace and in divine light. There is a holy sound that calls money home, and that sound is silence. Not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of certainty. It is the silence that whispers, "It is already done." In that stillness, everything rearranges. In that peace, every delay dissolves. For when the heart is quiet, divine order speaks. Beloved, manifestation does not happen through noise. It happens through knowing. You do not need to shout your affirmations. You need to feel them. You do not need to chase opportunities. You need to allow them. Because the universe hears energy, not volume. And the most powerful energy in creation is peace. Say softly, "I am still. I am calm. I am safe." Money finds me in peace. Prosperity is drawn to my silence. The world will tell you to hustle. The world will tell you to run faster, work longer, shout louder. But the spirit whispers, "Be still and know." For manifestation is not about motion. It is about alignment. When you rest in faith, you attract through vibration. When you force in fear, you repel through tension. Peace is not laziness. Peace is the highest frequency of creation. Every great manifestation is conceived in stillness. The seed grows underground before it breaks through the soil. The butterfly forms in silence before it spreads its wings. And so it is with your wealth. It is forming now in unseen places, waiting for your calm acceptance to bring it forth. Say quietly, I trust divine timing. I do not chase, I attract. I do not beg, I receive. I do not worry, I know. Silence is the sacred womb of manifestation. It is where ideas are born, where guidance arrives, where miracles organize themselves in divine order. When you stop doubting, the universe stops delaying. Every anxious thought sends confusion into your field. Every peaceful breath restores divine rhythm. So breathe deeply now and let the silence do the work. Money does not respond to panic, it responds to peace. It does not move toward noise, it moves toward calm. Because calm energy says, I already have it. And that is the vibration that creates. Say with gentle authority, I already have enough. I already am enough. I am grateful for my wealth now. Money loves my calm. Prosperity flows through my peace. When you sit in silence, you begin to hear divine ideas. They are the quiet nudges that say, call this person, or try this path, or sometimes, do nothing yet. The guidance of spirit is never frantic. It is always peaceful. And the golden silence is where that guidance becomes audible. The noise of the world says, work harder. The voice of spirit says, trust deeper. The noise says, there's not enough. The voice says, I will supply all your needs. The voice says, you're behind. The voice says, you are right on time. Repeat with faith, I am right on time. I am in divine flow. I am guided in every step. I manifest through peace, not pressure. When you dwell in the golden silence, money begins to come in unexpected ways. Checks arrive without asking. Opportunities appear without chasing. People say, I thought of you for this. This is divine order moving quietly in your favor. It happens not because you shouted, not because you frusted, not because you forced, but because you aligned. Beloved, silence is magnetic. It tells the universe, I believe. It tells money, you are safe with me. It tells God, your timing is perfect. In this stillness, you are one with divine intelligence. You are no longer seeking answers. You are the answer. You are no longer asking for signs. You are the sign. Say with love, I am the embodiment of divine abundance. I manifest with ease. I manifest through peace. My silence is my superpower. Let go of urgency. Urgency is fear disguised as motivation. The universe does not respond to fear, it waits for faith. And faith is always calm. The moment you stop doubting, your manifestation begins. The moment you stop worrying, money starts moving. The moment you rest, the universe works. The golden silence is knowledge of God. It is full of infinite supply, infinite wisdom, infinite love. And from that silence, miracles emerge naturally. Gracefully, say gently, I live in peace. I walk in trust. I rest in abundance. I know that all is well, and all will continue to be well. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not unseen. You are held by divine timing. You are guided by divine intelligence. And your wealth is unfolding even now, under grace and in perfect harmony. Let your silence become your prayer. Let your peace become your magnet. Let your stillness become your strategy. And when the world asks, how did you do it? You will smile and say, I did not chase. I aligned. I was still. And it came. I say once more, I am still and know. I am peace, and peace attracts abundance. Money loves my calm energy. Divine order is working for me now. And so it is. And so it will always be, in the golden silence of manifestation. Beloved, everything you have learned returns to this single truth. Love is prosperity. For when you live as love, you cannot live in lack. Love is the currency of heaven, and money is its messenger on earth. When you think, speak, and act in love, you are already rich, rich in vibration, rich in peace, rich in divine connection. Say softly, I live as love. I live as prosperity. Money follows love, and love flows through me endlessly. There is no separation between spiritual life and financial life. They are one river, not two. When you love what you do, you multiply the divine substance around you. When you love who you are, you open the gates of supply. When you love others freely, you create channels through which miracles travel back to you. Love never asks, will I have enough? Love says, I am enough. Love never fears giving. Love knows that what it gives returns multiplied. Say gently, I am enough. I have enough. I give enough. I receive enough. I am divine abundance embodied. The true millionaire is the one whose heart is filled with peace. The true wealthy one is the soul who blesses even the smallest coin. You are that soul now. You are no longer waiting for proof of prosperity. You are living it by thought, by tone, by tenderness. When you bless the morning sun, wealth hears you. When you smile at a stranger, opportunity smiles back. When you give without fear, you become the hands of God distributing good. Say again, I am the hands of divine abundance. I am the voice of prosperity. I am the heart of generosity. I am love in motion. There was a time when you believed money would complete you. Now you see, you were never incomplete. Money is not the master, it is the mirror. When love expands inside you, wealth simply reflects it. You are no longer chasing, you are creating. You are no longer striving, you are allowing. You are no longer wishing, you are witnessing divine law in action. Every breath you take is a transaction of abundance. Inhale faith, exhale gratitude. Every heartbeat is a receipt of supply. The universe confirming, you are supported. Say quietly, with every breath I receive, with every breath I give, abundance circulates through me as life itself. You have learned the rhythm: receive, key bless. Key release, return. This is the eternal circulation of love. Money is only one instrument playing in that grand symphony. Peace is the melody. Gratitude is the harmony. Love is the conductor. And when you live this way, nothing can truly be taken from you. For what leaves your hand cannot leave your vibration. It will return through new forms, new channels, new grace. Say once more, I bless all that goes. I welcome all that comes. I live in divine circulation. I live in divine love. The future no longer frightens you, because you have entered timelessness. You know that divine supply never sleeps, never pauses, never fails. Even now, unseen opportunities are aligning. Unseen helpers are preparing, unseen finding its path toward you. Be still and smile. You have become the magnet. Not because of struggle, but because of surrender. Not because of greed, but because of grace. Say softly, I surrender to divine order. I live under grace. I walk in overflowing good. Everything I touch is blessed, multiplied, and made holy. This is the way of spiritual prosperity. Not grasping, but glowing, not hoarding, but harmonizing, not fearing, but flowering. Love is the seed, faith is the soil, gratitude is the rain, and peace is the harvest. You have planted well. You have watered daily with words of power. Now watch your garden grow without limit. Say gently, I reap miracles daily. I live in infinite supply. Money loves me. I love all that is, and in that love, lack dissolves forever. Fear melts, shame disappears. Effort turns into ease. You stand as the living testimony that divine abundance is real. Not someday, not somehow, but here, now, always. Close your eyes and breathe this final truth into your heart. I am one with the rich substance of the universe. Money loves me, and I love the circulation of good. I live as love. I live as prosperity. I live as divine light in form. Let that vibration expand outward, touching your home, your family, your work, your dreams. Everything responds to this new frequency. Everything aligns with this new identity. You have remembered who you are, divine being, endlessly supplied, eternally loved, forever abundant, and so it is, and so it continues, under grace in perfect harmony without end, forever flowing, forever giving, forever receiving.
Every great fortune begins not in the bank, but in the mind. The world you see before you is but a mirror of the thoughts you hold within. Prosperity is not an accident. It is the natural result of aligning your consciousness with the divine law of abundance. When you understand that riches, opportunities, and success are spiritual first and material second, you unlock the secret key that has opened golden doors for kings, inventors, and visionaries since the beginning of time. The riches you seek are already prepared for you. They exist now, awaiting your recognition. Life is a storehouse of unlimited treasures, and your acceptance of them is the only price of admission. The invisible substance of wealth is molded and shaped by your words, your faith, and your inner images. If you speak lack, you carve lack into the fabric of your experience. If you speak abundance, you summon gold, silver ideas, and blessings to flow toward you as naturally as rivers find the sea. Your outer world is a perfect reflection of your inner belief. If you see success as distant, it will remain a stranger. But if you claim it now, feel it now, live as though it is yours now, the law of supply responds with precision. For the universe has no resistance to the confident soul who knows they are heir to every good and perfect gift. You do not have to struggle to create riches, you need only to remove the obstacles you have placed in your own thought. Fear, doubt, and envy are thieves that must be banished. The moment you replace them with faith, gratitude, and expectation, you open the channel for wealth to rush in from every direction. What you expect with joy, you attract with certainty. There are habits, simple, yet mighty, that build an irresistible magnetic field around the individual. Habits that turn desire into demonstration, vision into valuables, and ideas into income. These are not merely habits of action, but habits of consciousness. The wealthy man or woman lives in an atmosphere of abundance long before the coins and contracts arrive. Their words are seeds, their thoughts are blueprints, and their feelings are the attracting current that draws fortune closer each day. When you grasp that money is but a symbol of divine supply, and success is the evidence of harmony with universal law, you cease to chase and begin to attract. You cease to doubt and begin to expect. And expectation is the very hand that receives the gift already given. The habits you will learn are not tricks or schemes, they are eternal principles dressed in practical form. They work for the farmer and the financier, the student and the sovereign, because they are founded on the unchanging law as within, so without. If you'd like, I can now continue and list the 10 habits in the same style so the whole speech flows seamlessly. To speak abundance, never lack, is to recognize the creative power that rests upon your words, and to guard them as you would guard a treasure chest filled with gold. Every syllable you utter is a seed planted in the fertile soil of the unseen. If you plant seeds of lack, you will harvest lack. If you plant seeds of abundance, you will reap a harvest beyond counting. The tongue is not a mere instrument of communication. It is the wand of the magician, shaping the substance of life into form. The law of life responds with mathematical certainty to the vibration of your speech, for words are not empty. They are carriers of energy, charged with belief, and they go forth to fulfill their purpose exactly as spoken. When you say, "I can't afford that," you are issuing a decree to the universe that scarcity is your chosen reality. The law takes you at your word and mirrors it back in your circumstances. When you say, "Money comes to me easily and frequently," you are sending a signal into the great storehouse of supply, and all channels are moved to make it so. Your spoken word is not a wish, it is a command. And the more feeling and faith you invest in it, the faster and more powerfully it manifests. To speak abundance is to train your tongue to align with the vision you hold for your life, not the appearance of the moment. You may look at your bank account and see a number you wish were larger, but you do not give that fact the authority to dictate your speech. Instead, you declare the truth of abundance that exists beyond the visible. You say, "Divine supply flows to me in perfect ways," even when the evidence is not yet in your hands. You speak as if the harvest has already come in, because in the unseen it has. This is not lying to yourself, it is aligning yourself. You are not pretending something is true. You are affirming the greater reality that your senses cannot yet measure. The visible world is slow to catch up to the invisible law, but it always does. You speak abundance not because you are trying to force it, but because you are harmonizing your vibration with the frequency of wealth, and the law of attraction is infallible in its response. Consider that every complaint you voice is an order form for more of the same. If you say, "Everything is so expensive," you have signed the contract for continued expense and struggle. If you say, "Opportunities and discounts always find me," you are opening the door for conditions to shift in your favor. Your words are the architects of your reality, drafting the plans for what will be built in your life. A builder does not keep changing the blueprint if he wants to see his structure completed. Likewise, you must hold your speech steady and consistent with your chosen vision. Many people sabotage their abundance through casual speech. They use phrases like, "I'm broke, I can't win," or "Nothing ever works out for me," without realizing they are issuing powerful commands to the law of manifestation. They may laugh as they say it, believing it to be harmless, but the law is impersonal. It does not judge your tone, it only mirrors your content. Whether spoken in jest or in seriousness, words carry creative authority. It is wise, therefore, to make every utterance serve your highest good. Speaking abundance is not merely about money. It is about affirming richness in health, relationships, opportunities, and ideas. When you say, "Life supports me in every way," you set a current of unseen forces to arrange events, people, and circumstances to prove you right. When you say, "I am always in the right place at the right time," doors open where once there were walls. The same law that governs financial prosperity governs all other forms of good. Training your speech is a conscious discipline. At first, you may catch yourself speaking in ways that contradict your desires. This is natural, for most people have been conditioned from childhood to repeat the language of lack. But as you listen to yourself more closely, you begin to replace each negative declaration with one of abundance. If you catch yourself saying, "I can't do that," you immediately reframe it. "Everything I need to do this is coming to me now." If you start to say, "I'm not lucky," you replace it with, "I am always divinely guided and blessed." Over time, these statements become your default language, and the energy you emit shifts accordingly. The spoken word does not work alone, it works in harmony with thought and feeling. If you speak words of abundance while secretly believing in lack, your results will be slow. But when your words, thoughts, and feelings all agree, you create a magnetic force that nothing can resist. Speaking abundance becomes more than a habit, it becomes your natural state of being. You stop noticing reasons to complain, and you start noticing reasons to celebrate. You no longer speak of what is missing, but of what is flowing in. It is important to speak abundance not only about yourself but also about others. When you speak well of someone's prosperity, you are planting seeds of goodwill that also bless your own garden. Envy and criticism close the door on your own flow, for the law you apply to others is the same law that applies to you. To say, "He is so lucky, but I never get a break," is to affirm your own lack. But to say, "Good for him, blessings are flowing to all of us," is to align yourself with the same river of supply. Even in casual conversation, you can turn the tide toward abundance. When someone complains about rising costs, you might respond with, "Yes, and isn't it wonderful how new opportunities always appear to meet our needs?" This is not ignoring reality. It is choosing which reality you will strengthen with your words. The more you do this, the more you will find that situations arise to match your declarations. Speaking abundance is a way of living in faith. It is declaring the harvest before you see it, because you know the seed has already been planted in the invisible. It is choosing to water the seed with words of life, not poison it with words of fear. Every time you affirm prosperity, you are polishing the mirror of your life, so it reflects the infinite wealth of the universe without distortion. You are reminding yourself, and the law that governs all, that your inheritance is rich, limitless, and already given. To see yourself already successful is to take possession of the prize in the realm of mind before it is delivered into your hands. Success is not a chase. It is a claiming. The invisible blueprint of every triumph begins in the imagination. And the clearer and more vividly you hold that image, the faster it solidifies into the visible world. The world outside cannot resist the world you create inside. If you can see it with the eyes of faith, you have already laid claim to it. The unseen responds to the image you carry, just as surely as a shadow follows the object that casts it. When you see yourself already successful, you are not hoping, wishing, or bargaining with fate. You are aligning with the unshakable truth that what you desire already exists in potential form. And that potential is just as real as the finished result. The laws of creation require that you first have the pattern before the substance can fill it. You are the designer, the architect, and the visionary of your own life, and your inner picture is the mold into which the material world must flow. This seeing is not mere daydreaming, it is an act of conscious creation. You place yourself in the scene as if it were now. Breathing the air of your achievement, hearing the voices of those who congratulate you, feeling the texture of the life you have chosen. You see yourself signing the contracts, holding the keys, speaking from the stage, depositing the checks, receiving the awards. Whatever represents your version of success, you make it so vivid that your subconscious mind cannot distinguish it from reality. And in doing so, you program it to bring about conditions that match the vision. The mind moves toward what it is most familiar with. If you constantly feed it images of failure, rejection, and defeat, it will unconsciously guide you toward actions and decisions that confirm those images. But if you saturate your mind with the feeling and vision of success, it will work tirelessly, day and night, to create the circumstances that match your mental picture. The subconscious is obedient but not creative. It takes orders from your conscious mind. Seeing yourself already successful is the way you give it clear, unmistakable orders. You may ask how one can see success when present conditions appear to contradict it. The answer lies in the law that the inner precedes the outer. What you see now is the harvest of past thoughts and images, and it has no authority over the seeds you plant today. If a farmer judged the future harvest by the barren field before planting, he would never sow. Yet he knows the soil will respond to the seed, the water, and the sunlight. Likewise, your life will respond to the images, the faith, and the persistence you invest. To see yourself already successful is to ignore the temporary evidence of the senses when it contradicts your goal. This is not denial, it is discipline. You are training yourself to hold the higher vision regardless of appearances. You might be in a small apartment now, but in your inner world, you walk through the spacious rooms of your dream home. You might be working in an entry-level position now, but in your mind, you step into the corner office, directing projects and making high-level decisions. You might be counting pennies now, but in your imagination, you are counting profits and signing generous checks. The law of life does not bring to you what you deserve. It brings to you what you continually see and feel as yours. Emotions are the fuel for this vision. The picture alone is not enough, you must charge it with the feeling of already having achieved it. If you can close your eyes and feel the relief, the pride, the gratitude, the excitement, then you have activated the magnetic current that draws it into form. The stronger and more consistent your emotional connection, the more rapidly it manifests. The mind responds to the language of feeling far more powerfully than it does to the language of words alone. Every person who has accomplished great things has lived this principle. The inventor sees the finished machine before the first piece of metal is shaped. The author sees the completed book before a single word is written. The athlete sees the victory before the starting gun is fired. They do not wait for the world to give them proof, they create the proof within themselves first. They live from the vision, not toward it. And by doing so, they make it inevitable. When you walk through your day with the image of your success ever present, you begin to act in harmony with it without even trying. Your posture changes, your tone of voice changes, the decisions you make change. You begin to gravitate toward opportunities that align with your vision and to pass over those that do not. You attract people who match the frequency of your inner image, and you repel those who would weaken or contradict it. You make choices as if you were already living the life you have seen, and those choices become stepping stones toward its physical expression. This practice requires persistence, for the world will often tempt you to drop your vision and conform to its current conditions. You will hear voices of doubt, both from within and from others, that question your certainty. But if you understand the creative process, you know these are merely echoes of the old pattern trying to maintain its hold. You must hold your vision steady, as a captain holds the wheel of the ship steady, even when waves crash against the hull. The clearer your vision, the less power those waves have over you. It is also important to strip away any mental images of failure or limitation. If you see yourself as unlucky, unworthy, or incapable, you are creating a second blueprint that competes with the first. The subconscious cannot serve two masters. It will follow the dominant image. This is why you must become vigilant over your inner world, replacing every image of defeat with one of triumph. Over time, the new image becomes so dominant that the old one dissolves completely, and success becomes your new normal. To see yourself already successful is to live in a mental atmosphere of completion. You speak from it, act from it, and make decisions from it. You carry yourself as one who has already received, and the world responds accordingly. Doors open, ideas arrive, and resources appear because you have made room for them in the only place that matters first, the unseen workshop of the mind. To expect wealth with unwavering faith is to stand in the certainty that the good you seek is already on its way, regardless of appearances, delays, or obstacles. Expectation is not idle wishing. It is the confident assurance that the seed you have planted will grow, because it is rooted in the unchanging law of cause and effect. Faith gives life to the seed, and expectation draws it into form. When you expect wealth, you align your mind, emotions, and actions with abundance, and the universe has no choice but to match your vibration with results. This expectation must be unwavering, because the moment doubt enters, it interrupts the flow of supply. Just as a farmer does not dig up his seeds each day to check if they are growing, you must resist the temptation to question the process. You planted through your vision, your spoken word, and your feelings, now you allow the law to work. Faith is the soil, expectation is the sunlight, and both are needed to bring the harvest. The habit of expecting wealth is the habit of living as if you already possess it in substance, even if it has not yet taken material form. To expect wealth is to reject every thought of limitation as a lie against the truth of your being. The divine source is infinite and knows no shortage, and you are connected to that source. If you hold the image of abundance in your heart, yet walk through life bracing for disappointment, you are canceling your own order before it is filled. Expectation is the magnetic current that keeps the channel open. It says, "I know my good is coming," with the same calm certainty you would feel if you had already received the confirmation in your hand. The person of unwavering faith does not depend on outer signs to maintain expectation. They do not wait for the economy to improve, for someone else's approval, or for a specific set of circumstances to unfold before believing. They know the outer is shaped by the inner, not the other way around. When there is no visible evidence, they expect all the more, because they understand that the unseen is the womb from which the seen is born. Expectation is a form of mental preparation. It prompts you to act in ways that welcome your good. When you expect guests, you prepare the house. When you expect wealth, you prepare your life to receive it. You open bank accounts, create systems, educate yourself, and make room for the increase you know is coming. These acts are not wishful thinking. They are declarations in action that you believe in the law of supply and are ready to handle its gifts. To expect wealth with unwavering faith is to carry yourself in thought and feeling as one who is already wealthy. You spend without fear, knowing more is always coming. You give freely, understanding that giving is the other side of receiving. You see opportunities where others see none, because your mind is tuned to the frequency of gain rather than loss. This expectation sharpens your awareness and makes you alert to openings you might otherwise overlook. Many fail to experience increase because their expectation is mixed with fear. They may affirm abundance in the morning and worry about bills by the afternoon. This divided mind sends a confused signal to the law, which always mirrors the dominant vibration. To hold unwavering faith is to choose one signal and keep it steady. You do not beg for wealth as if it were reluctant to come. You declare it as your natural inheritance and expect it as surely as you expect the sun to rise. You must also guard against the influence of others who speak in terms of scarcity and hopelessness. If you allow their words to become your expectation, you have given them power over your destiny. Surround yourself with voices and images that affirm possibility and expansion. Read, listen, and converse in ways that strengthen your faith rather than weaken it. Expectation is strengthened by repetition, so keep your mind continually fed with thoughts and images of plenty. The more you expect wealth, the more your subconscious mind organizes your behavior to match that belief. You take bolder steps, approach new ventures with confidence, and make decisions that align with long-term prosperity rather than short-term safety. Your energy changes, and with it, the energy you draw from others changes. People sense the confidence of one who expects success, and they respond with trust, opportunities, and support. It is not enough to merely want wealth. Wanting can exist alongside doubt. Expectation is a higher state. It is wanting combined with certainty. A person who expects to be paid for their work acts differently than one who merely hopes. A person who expects their investment to grow watches the market with a different eye than one who fears loss. Expectation changes posture, tone, and presence. It makes you a living invitation for wealth to arrive. Unwavering faith does not mean you will never face challenges. It means challenges do not shake your certainty. When a temporary setback comes, you see it as part of the process, not as evidence of failure. You remain calm in the knowledge that the law is still at work, arranging the unseen pieces that will deliver your increase. The appearance of delay is often the very proof that the wheels are turning beneath the surface. To expect wealth with unwavering faith is to trust the invisible supply as much as you trust the visible. Just as you trust a planted seed to grow beneath the soil, you trust your affirmation, vision, and inspired action to produce results in the physical. You do not dig up the process with worry, you water it daily with gratitude and act as if it is already yours. Gratitude, in fact, is a natural companion to expectation. It keeps your focus on the flow rather than the lack, and it multiplies whatever is already in your hand. Your expectation must be present in every area of your life, not just in finances. If you expect good news, you will see more of it. If you expect people to treat you well, you will draw that behavior from them. Wealth is not limited to money. It is the overflowing of good in all directions. Expectation for abundance in one area reinforces abundance in others, creating a cycle of increase. When your faith is unwavering, you do not measure progress by the clock or calendar. You know the manifestation is coming in perfect timing, and that the law cannot fail. The moment you align with the vibration of your desire and hold it steady, the process begins. You expect wealth because it is your birthright, your natural state, and the inevitable outcome of your alignment with the source of all supply. To remove fear, doubt, and envy is to clear the mental field in which the seeds of success and wealth must grow. These three forces are like weeds that choke the healthy plants before they can bear fruit. Fear contracts, doubt delays, and envy poisons. If abundance is to flow freely into your life, you must uproot these intruders completely, for they cannot coexist with faith, gratitude, and confidence. Every time you yield to fear, you send a signal to the universe that you do not trust the supply. Every time you entertain doubt, you interrupt the channel through which your good is arriving. Every time you indulge envy, you close your own door by declaring that someone else's gain somehow diminishes your own. Fear is the great paralyzer. It causes hesitation when action is needed, retreat when persistence would win the day, and silence when opportunity calls for a bold declaration. Fear is not an external force. It is an internal image projected onto circumstances. The thing you fear often does not exist in reality. It is a phantom born of past failures, imagined losses, or stories you have been told. The mind creates pictures of disaster and then reacts to them as if they were facts. To remove fear is to replace those mental pictures with visions of success, safety, and victory. Fear cannot remain in the presence of a firmly held image of abundance, because the mind cannot hold two contradictory pictures with equal force for long. Doubt is the quiet thief that works in the shadows. It often appears reasonable, whispering questions like, "What if this doesn't work?" Or, "What if I fail again?" Doubt is dangerous because it presents itself as caution, but its true nature is paralysis. While fear shouts, doubt whispers, and in its subtlety, it undermines your persistence. Doubt will cause you to water your seed one day and abandon it the next. It will lead you to change your plan too soon, or to accept lesser opportunities because you do not believe the greater ones will arrive. To remove doubt, you must learn to recognize its voice and answer it with truth. The law of supply cannot fail. What I have asked for is already mine in the unseen. My only task is to remain aligned. Each time you replace doubt with certainty, you strengthen the mental habit that keeps your vision steady until it materializes. Envy is perhaps the most deceptive of the three, for it masquerades as admiration while secretly breeding resentment. To envy another's wealth, success, or position is to declare to your subconscious that you believe you cannot have the same or better. It is an admission of separation from the source of supply, as if someone else's good must come at your expense. This belief is a lie, for the source is infinite and cannot be exhausted. Every time you feel envy, you are affirming lack. You are telling the law that abundance is scarce, and that you are on the outside looking in. To remove envy is to train yourself to bless the success of others, seeing it as proof of what is possible for you. When you rejoice in the wealth of another, you are planting a seed for your own harvest, for you are aligning yourself with the vibration of abundance rather than scarcity. The process of removing these three forces begins with awareness. You cannot uproot what you do not see. Fear may disguise itself as being realistic, doubt as thinking things through, and envy as harmless comparison. You must become vigilant over your thoughts, catching these intruders in the moment they arise. The instant you notice fear, you replace it with an affirmation of safety and abundance. When you catch doubt, you replace it with a declaration of faith. When envy appears, you replace it with genuine blessings for the one you envied, and a renewed affirmation of your own limitless supply. Removing fear, doubt, and envy is not a one-time event but a continuous discipline. Just as a gardener does not weed the garden once and forget about it, you must regularly inspect the garden of your mind. Some weeds return after being pulled, and some lie dormant until conditions favor their growth. But the more consistently you remove them, the weaker their roots become until they can no longer take hold. It is important to understand that fear, doubt, and envy cannot simply be removed in the sense of leaving an empty space. Nature abhors a vacuum, and the mind will fill any empty place with whatever is most dominant in its environment. This is why they must be replaced with their opposites. Fear with faith, doubt with certainty, envy with gratitude. If you do not actively cultivate these opposites, the weeds will return. Faith expands the heart, certainty steadies the mind, and gratitude opens the channel to receive more. The removal of these three forces also changes the way you experience opportunities. Without fear, you will step forward when the moment presents itself. Without doubt, you will hold steady when results are not immediate. Without envy, you will celebrate the victories of others and use them as fuel for your own journey. This creates a magnetic field that draws opportunities to you, because you are no longer resisting them with conflicting signals. Your speech will also change as these intruders are removed. Fear often speaks in words of limitation. Maybe. What if? It's too risky. Maybe. I'm not sure and see. Envy speaks in comparisons. Why them? It must be nice. As you replace those with words of abundance. I can. My time is coming. You change not only your vibration, but also the vibration, but also the way others perceive yourself. So respond to ye. The world listens to the language you speak, and when your words reflect faith, confidence, and goodwill, doors open where before there were none. The energy freed by removing fear, doubt, and envy is immense. Fear drains energy by keeping you in a constant state of imagined danger. Doubt wastes energy by making you start and stop, start and stop. Envy wastes energy by focusing your attention on another's life instead of your own. When these drains are sealed, you have a surge of mental and emotional power to direct toward your vision. You can invest that energy into actions that bring results, into creative thought, and into building the habits that produce lasting wealth. Without these three, you walk through life lighter and more open. You no longer pause to wonder if you should move forward. You simply move. You no longer question if the result will come. You know it is on its way. You no longer feel a sting when others succeed. You feel joy. Because their success confirms the truth of abundance for all. Fear, doubt, and envy are chains that keep the mind bound to the old pattern. Their removal sets you free to create without resistance. To live in harmony with universal law is to align every thought, word, emotion, and action with the principles that govern all creation. The universe operates by exact laws, not by chance. Just as gravity never forgets to pull or the tides never forget to rise and fall, the laws of supply, cause and effect, and attraction never fail to respond to the vibration you emit. Living in harmony with these laws is not about forcing outcomes, but about moving in the same direction as the current instead of struggling against it. When you are aligned, progress feels natural, opportunities appear without strain, and your efforts are multiplied by the unseen forces working with you. These laws are impartial and impersonal. They do not bend for preference or sentiment. They respond with precision to the mental and emotional states you maintain. If your thoughts are of abundance, gratitude, and expectation, the law reflects those conditions in your outer life. If your thoughts are of lack, resentment, and fear, the law reflects those as well. Harmony means you choose thoughts and feelings that match the reality you wish to experience, knowing that the law will unfailingly mirror them back to you. Living in harmony begins with recognition of cause and effect. Nothing in your experience is random, it is the effect of a cause set in motion by you, consciously or unconsciously. Every word spoken, every image held, every attitude maintained plants a seed. Some seeds grow quickly, others slowly, but all bring forth fruit in their season. Harmony with the law means planting only what you wish to harvest. You would not sow thorns and expect roses, yet many do this mentally by speaking of limitation while desiring expansion. Alignment requires consistency between your inner planting and the outer harvest you seek. Another universal law at work is the law of supply. There is no shortage in the divine storehouse. Every form of wealth, opportunity, and resource exists in infinite measure. Scarcity is a concept created by the mind when it forgets its connection to the source. To live in harmony with this law is to move through life with the awareness that there is always more coming, that the stream of supply is continuous. This consciousness dissolves the need for grasping, hoarding, or competing. For you know that what is yours cannot be withheld, and that your gain does not require another's loss. The law of attraction is the harmonizing force that draws to you the people, conditions, and resources that match your dominant vibration. This is why harmony with the law begins within, not without. You cannot attract abundance while vibrating with fear of loss. You cannot draw success while rehearsing images of failure. The vibration you send is the invitation you extend to the universe. Living in harmony means becoming the embodiment of what you wish to receive. Thinking as the wealthy think, feeling as the successful feel, and acting as though you already hold what you desire. Harmony with universal law is also a matter of trust. Just as you trust that the sun will rise and the seasons will change, you trust that the law will deliver the results of your consistent alignment. This trust removes the anxiety that causes so many to abandon their vision before it is realized. When you trust the law, you are free to take inspired action without the pressure of making things happen through force. You move forward confidently, knowing that your role is to plant, water, and expect, while the law ensures the growth. Living in harmony also requires balance between giving and receiving. The law is circulatory. What you give returns to you multiplied, and what you withhold is withheld from you. If you desire more wealth, you must become a channel through which wealth flows, not merely a reservoir that collects and holds. Giving with joy signals to the law that you live in the consciousness of plenty, and the law responds by maintaining that plenty. This applies not only to money but also to time, encouragement, kindness, and opportunity. Harmony with the law extends to your treatment of others. The energy you send out in thought and feeling toward another is energy you will meet again. Resentment, criticism, and ill will disrupt your vibration and create conditions that return to you in unpleasant form. Blessing others, wishing them success, and seeing them in their highest good aligns you with the flow of abundance for all. In universal law, there is no separation. What you give to another, you give to yourself. Awareness is the foundation of harmony. You must notice the patterns of thought and behavior that bring discord into your life. Complaining, worrying, doubting, and comparing all send signals of lack. When you catch yourself in these patterns, you consciously replace them with gratitude, faith, and affirmation of the truth you wish to see. Over time, the new patterns become habits, and harmony becomes your natural state. Living in harmony with the law also means being receptive. Many block their good not because it is unavailable, but because they are closed to receiving it in unexpected ways. The law does not always deliver in the form you imagine. A new opportunity, a helpful connection, a sudden idea. These may all be answers to your request. By being open and flexible, you allow the law to work through the best possible channels rather than limiting it to your own preconceived plan. Harmony is not passive acceptance. It is active cooperation. You do not simply wait for life to happen. You participate in the creative process by holding the right mental state, speaking the right words, taking inspired action, and remaining steady in faith. You recognize that your inner state sets the rhythm to which the outer world dances. If you want the music to change, you change the song within. The beauty of living in harmony with universal law is that it removes struggle. You stop fighting circumstances and start shaping them. You stop reacting to appearances and start creating from cause. You stop seeking shortcuts and start walking the direct path of alignment. In this state, you find that wealth, opportunities, and success flow toward you naturally, not as isolated blessings, but as the inevitable outcome of being in tune with the principles that govern all creation.
Sit quietly, beloved soul, and center thy spirit in the secret place of the Most High, where no fear, no lack, no delay may enter. Close the outer door of the senses and open wide the inner gate, for now thou preparest to speak the word of wealth, and the word, once spoken in divine faith, never returns void. The tongue is a creative instrument, a wand of power. As it is written, Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. Every word, yea, even the idle utterance, carries the seed of manifestation. So guard thy lips, and let them pour forth only riches of truth, prosperity of speech, and treasures of divine decree. Now speak boldly as one with the infinite. I am rich with the riches of God. I speak abundance, and it appears. I declare increase, and the floodgates of heaven open wide. I am the heir to the kingdom, and all I desire is mine by divine inheritance. Say it again and yet again, for the subconscious is moved by repetition, and faith cometh by hearing. God is my supply, large, rich, opulent, immediate, and unending. The wealth of the world flows to me now, without resistance, without fear, without delay. Let the words roll off thy tongue like living waters, for thy words are seeds in the soil of the unseen. By thy words thou shalt be justified. Therefore speak not of debt, nor lack, nor limitation, for these are but shadows and dreams. Instead, speak the word of wealth, which is the word of God. I say unto thee, let the word go forth in authority. Every bill is paid, every need is met, every desire is fulfilled. I do not beg, I do not borrow, for I am supplied from the infinite source that never runs dry. Feel the vibration as thou speakest. Feel the air change, the very atoms rearrange. For when the word is spoken with faith, all heaven moves to fulfill it. He sent his word and healed them. And so he sends thy word and prospers thy way. Let not doubt follow thy declaration. Let not fear creep in behind thy faith. For a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Speak once and stand. Declare once and rejoice. Speak as one who knows, and the wealth shall answer. Say now with holy conviction, I rejoice in the spoken word. I speak life into my finances, strength into my savings, multiplication into my storehouse. Angels of supply, go forth now. My voice hath summoned you. You obey the command of the Christ within me. Do not question the how. The word creates the way. Do not reason in the flesh. The Spirit brings the supply. Only speak, and let the law work its perfect work. Speak once more before the silence returns. I now speak divine abundance into my life. My words are rich with gold. My voice echoes with prosperity. And every sound I release is a trumpet of triumph. The word is wealth, and I have spoken it. So it is. Remain still, for the word has been sent. And now we prepare to see what the word has created. Now that the word has been spoken, let the inner eye behold that which has been decreed. For as the Master taught, according to your faith be it unto you. And faith is the evidence of things not seen, yet seen in the secret place of the imagination, where all form is first conceived. Close thine outer eyes, and open the eyes of the Spirit. Be still, and see the wealth that is already thine by divine right. Let not the outer world cloud thy vision, for it is but a mirror of former thoughts. Now we behold a new image, a heavenly vision painted upon the canvas of the soul. See thyself surrounded by divine luxury, not the pomp of pride, but the comfort of completion. See the house thou hast longed for, already built in the unseen. See thy hands counting the substance. See the bills stamped paid in full.
thy table richly spread. See the doors open that once were shut. Imagine with sacred boldness, I see myself blessed beyond measure. I walk in beauty and in bounty. I dwell in homes of peace. I drive in freedom. I travel in favor. Everywhere I go, divine substance meets me there. Thy imagination is the womb of creation. It is the sacred workshop where angels labor. And the Lord hath said, lift up now thine eyes and look for all the land which thou seest. To thee will I give it. Therefore, look and receive. See not with strain, but with ease. See not with fear, but with joy. For that which thou seest in spirit, if held with love, shall come forth in time. The mind's eye is the architect, and the word is the builder. Say now with glad assurance, I see money flowing to me from unexpected places. I see doors swinging wide. I see divine appointments, sacred arrangements, heavenly contracts sealed and delivered to me. Now what I see in truth, I shall hold in hand. Do not paint lack. Do not frame poverty. Do not decorate fear. For what thou drawest upon thy mental screen, thou invitest to dwell in thy house. So let thy vision be holy. Let thy pictures be of abundance, of overflowing treasure, of joy without sorrow. I see myself blessing others. I see myself tithing in joy. I see myself investing with wisdom. I see myself speaking as one with plenty. I see myself in perfect financial harmony with the laws of God. Let this vision settle deep within thy soul. Let it be written upon the tablets of the heart. For what thou seest continually, thou becomest. And the world shall conform to the divine image within. Hold now the picture still. Do not rush away. Let it bloom like a flower in spring. Let it grow stronger, brighter, clearer, for thou art aligning with the divine frequency of receiving. And now, dear soul, let us feel that sacred frequency, that holy vibration of joy. For it is not enough to speak and see, thou must feel as one who already hath. Let the heart now awaken, for feeling is the magnet that draws the unseen into form. The word hath been spoken, the vision hath been seen, and now thou must feel not as one who waits, but as one who has already received. For it is written, what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Faith without feeling is like a lamp without oil. The flame flickers and fades, but faith charged with divine emotion is like the sun at noon. It shines and draws all things to itself. So now, beloved soul, feel as one who is rich. Breathe in slowly. Let every breath declare abundance. Let every beat of thy heart resound with, I have, I am, I rejoice. For the feeling of having is the secret key to the kingdom. Say softly within, I feel the joy of abundance. I feel the security of divine wealth. I feel the peace of knowing all is provided. I feel the excitement of dreams fulfilled. I feel the warmth of answered prayer. I feel the gladness of every need met before I even ask. Let thy body now align with that truth. Sit in the posture of wealth. Walk with the stride of sufficiency. Speak with the tone of one who knows the feast is already set before thee. Thou art no longer begging, hoping, nor wishing. Thou art feeling the living vibration of having. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he.
And so let thy heart declare, I am receiving now. I feel the golden stream of substance pouring into my life. I feel the divine order arranging all things in my favor. I feel the love of infinite prospering my path. I feel money coming easily, frequently, and miraculously. This feeling is not forced, it is remembered. For thy soul already knows this frequency. It is the original language of thy being. It is the tune of the garden, the rhythm of Eden, the melody of thy divine inheritance. Feel it again. I am vibrating with wealth. I am resonating with riches. I am a beacon for divine substance. I am tuned to the frequency of receiving. My whole being sings with gratitude before the gift arrives, for I know it is already done. Let the body be still, and let the heart rejoice. Let the spirit take dominion. Let thy whole self be lifted into the atmosphere of fulfillment. For now, thou art not creating from effort, but from alignment. The joy thou feelest now is the evidence of things unseen. The peace that settles upon thee is the signature of heaven. Do not wait for the evidence of the outer. The feeling is the proof of the inner, and that which is felt in truth cannot be withheld. As thou dwellest in this holy vibration, surrender thyself to the great plan. For now we move from feeling into perfect trust, where divine right order takes hold and brings the harvest into view. Now, precious soul, having spoken the word, having seen the vision, having felt the joy, thou must release it into divine right order. For no seed bears fruit while clutched in the hand. It must be sown into the soil of spirit with full trust in the law that governs all things. Thy part is complete, the rest belongeth to God. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. This is the great surrender, not of desire, but of control. For the infinite knows the way, even when thine eyes do not see the steps ahead. Release now every concern, every thought of how and when. Lay it upon the altar of faith, for the Father who seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. Say now with gentle certainty, I surrender to divine right order. I release all plans and let God's perfect plan unfold. I trust the process of prosperity. I trust the divine timing of wealth. I trust the unseen hand arranging all in my favor. The soil does not strive to bring forth the harvest. It yields to the law, and the seed grows. So too must thou yield. Let go of force, let go of fear, let go of hurry. For in stillness, miracles are born. Let these words rise from within. Everything I seek is seeking me now. I no longer chase, I magnetize. I no longer worry, I worship. I no longer grasp, I glow with peace. Divine order is at work in my finances, my home, my heart. I rest in God. Rest not in passivity, but in power. For surrender is the highest vibration of faith. It says, though I see not the path, I know the promise. It says, though the fig tree may not blossom, yet will I rejoice in the Lord. This is the holy calm of knowing, the sacred hush of full trust, the soul at peace, knowing the angels are dispatched, the channels are open, the supply is flowing. Say once more, and let it echo through the corridors of creation. I surrender to the rhythm of the divine. I do not force manifestation,
I allow it. I do not demand the door. I know it shall be opened. I do not panic at delay. I rejoice in divine orchestration. Every seeming delay is a divine choreography. Every closed door is a redirection to greater glory. Every detour is the path, so trust and be not moved. Surrender is not weakness, it is alignment. Thou haste now become the vessel through which the law flows without obstruction. No fear clouds the current, no doubt disturbs the design. All is in order, all is prepared, all is being made manifest. And now, with hands open and heart lifted, prepare to receive in joy, for the table is spread, and thy cup runneth over. Open now thy spirit wide, beloved one, for thou standest at the threshold of the promise. The word hath been spoken in faith. The vision hath been seen in truth. The feeling hath aligned thee with heaven's frequency. The surrender hath placed all things in motion. Now receive with joy and holy gratitude, for the manifestation is at hand. Let every cell of thy being awaken to celebration. Let every breath testify, it is done. For gratitude is the song of the soul fulfilled, and joy is the echo of answered prayer. As it is written, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Receive now with gladness. I receive divine wealth into my life. I receive unexpected money, inherited favor, and overflowing provision. I receive with ease. I receive with wonder. I receive with thanksgiving. Let no guilt accompany thy blessing. Let no shame shadow thy good. For thou art not stealing what is not thine. Thou art claiming what God hath already ordained. Thou art the rightful heir. The banquet has been long prepared. Thou art not intruding. Thou art arriving. Say now with sacred conviction, I receive it now with open hands and a grateful heart. I do not resist. I do not shrink. I expand into the fullness of my inheritance. Feel the riches of spirit wrapping around thee like a warm mantle. Feel the treasure of heaven pouring into thy experience, not just gold, but peace, not just supply, but song, not just money, but meaning. Let joy rise within thee like the morning sun. Let it dance upon the waters of thy life, for joy is the sign that the door is open. Joy is the shout of heaven saying, yes, beloved, yes, all this and more. Declare now, I rejoice in all that is mine. I rejoice in every blessing, seen and unseen. I give thanks before it arrives, and I sing after it appears. My harvest is here, my cup overflows, my barn is full, my heart is light. I have received, and now go forth not as one who waits, but as one who walks in the reality of the spoken word. Bless others with thy joy. Pour out from thy fullness. For the more thou receivest with gratitude, the more shall be given. For it is the law, the spiritual law, unshaken by time, untouched by man. To him that hath, more shall be given, and thou now hath. So expect the increase, expect the expansion, expect the sudden miracles and the quiet ones too. Whisper now, as a final seal upon thy manifestation, thank you, God, for all that I have. Thank you for all that is flowing. Thank you for the riches, the rest, the radiance I receive. I rejoice.
The lottery, that symbol of instant life-changing wealth that captures the imagination of millions, is not merely a game of chance as the world would have you believe. It is a perfect metaphor for the abundance that already exists in the invisible realm, waiting to be claimed by those who understand the divine laws of manifestation. Today, you will discover how to win the lottery, not occasionally, not sometimes, but every time you engage with life's infinite possibilities. This is not about statistical probability or random luck. This is about aligning yourself with the perfect law that governs all creation. The law that guarantees your good must come to you when you align with it completely. Many will dismiss these words as fantasy or wishful thinking. Let them. The truth of divine abundance has never been for the masses, but for those select individuals who are ready to transcend limitation and claim their rightful inheritance of prosperity. You are one of these individuals. You would not be drawn to this message if you were not. The principles you are about to discover have transformed ordinary lives into extraordinary testimonies of abundance throughout history. These are not new ideas. They are ancient wisdom expressed in modern language for your benefit today. They are the same principles that have enabled seemingly miraculous manifestations of wealth, health, and happiness for those who applied them with unwavering faith. As you absorb these words, something profound is already happening within you. Old patterns of lack consciousness are dissolving. Limiting beliefs about money and prosperity are being uprooted. A new consciousness of abundance is taking root in the fertile soil of your mind. This transformation is not just possible, it is inevitable when you align yourself with divine law. The journey we are embarking on together is not merely about winning a lottery drawing, although that may indeed be part of your experience. It is about winning the greater lottery of life, about claiming the abundance that is already yours by divine right, about stepping into the flow of infinite prosperity that never ceases to flow. Are you ready to receive your good? Are you prepared to cast off the shackles of limitation and step into the freedom of unlimited abundance? Your answer to these questions will determine everything that follows. The transformation begins now. Before you can win any lottery, whether a literal drawing of numbers or the metaphorical lottery of abundant living, you must first understand and accept a fundamental truth. Abundance is your divine birthright. The universe is not a place of scarcity and limitation. It is an unlimited storehouse of good, waiting to be claimed by those who understand its laws. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. These words contain a profound truth about the nature of the universe. There is no lack in the divine realm. There is only abundant supply, waiting for your conscious recognition and acceptance. The problem is not that abundance is unavailable to you. The problem is that you have been conditioned to believe in lack, to accept limitation as your lot in life, to see scarcity where there is only infinite supply. This false belief system creates a barrier between you and the prosperity that is already yours by divine right. Consider for a moment the same divine power that creates galaxies, that sustains life on this planet, that orchestrates the perfect harmony of natural law. This same power is available to you, working through you, eager to express as prosperity, abundance, and fulfillment in your life. Would such a power create you to experience lack? Would it design you for limitation? Of course not. You were created to experience the fullness of life, to partake of its abundance, to prosper in every area of your existence. This is not spiritual theory. It is divine law. And when you align yourself with this law, your good must come to you. It cannot be otherwise. The lottery that captures the imagination of millions is simply one channel through which this abundance can flow into your experience. But it is not the source of abundance. The source is the divine law itself, working with mathematical precision to bring your good to you when you align yourself with it. This alignment begins with a fundamental shift in consciousness, from seeing yourself as separate from abundance to recognizing that you are one with it, that it is your natural state, your divine inheritance, your absolute right. Speak this affirmation with conviction. Infinite abundance is my divine right. I open myself to receive prosperity through every channel, seen and unseen. My good flows to me freely, joyously, and abundantly under grace in perfect ways. Feel these words resonating in the depths of your being. They are not just positive statements, they are declarations of truth that align you with the divine law of abundance. As you speak them, as you feel their truth, you are literally rewiring your consciousness, removing the barriers that have separated you from your good. The world may tell you that abundance is scarce, that wealth is for the fortunate few, that winning the lottery is a 1,000,000 to 1 shot. But the world operates according to human law, not divine law. And human law is merely a shadow of the perfect law that governs all creation. Under divine law, abundance is unlimited. Under divine law, prosperity flows to the conscious that is aligned with it. Under divine law, winning, in any arena of life, is the natural result of alignment with truth. This is the first and most fundamental principle of winning the lottery every time. You must know, with unshakable conviction, that abundance is already yours by divine right. Not as a future possibility, but as a present reality in the invisible realm, waiting only for your recognition and acceptance. With this foundation firmly established, you are now ready to discover the specific principles that will make winning, whether in a literal lottery or in the greater game of abundant living, not just possible, but inevitable. In the realm of divine law, nothing happens by chance. There is a perfect pattern, a divine blueprint, for the manifestation of every desire. This includes the manifestation of lottery winnings or any other specific form of abundance you seek to experience. This perfect pattern exists in what some call the fourth dimension, the realm of perfect ideas, the invisible plane where all manifestation begins. Before anything can appear in your physical experience, it must first exist in this realm of pure potential. Your task is not to create abundance. It already exists in infinite supply. Your task is to align yourself with the perfect pattern of its manifestation in your specific experience. This alignment is not a matter of chance or luck. It is a science, operating with mathematical precision according to divine law. The key to this alignment lies in your imagination, that magnificent faculty that connects you directly to the realm of pure potential. Your imagination is not just a mental playground. It is a creative powerhouse, a direct line to the infinite intelligence that governs all manifestation. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. This ancient wisdom reveals the creative power of your inner vision. When you can see yourself as already having received your good, when you can feel the reality of it in the depths of your being, you are aligning with the perfect pattern of its manifestation. Consider the remarkable story of Cynthia Stafford, who in 2007 won a $112 million lottery jackpot. But what makes her story extraordinary is not just the win itself, but the process that preceded it. For months before purchasing the winning ticket, Stafford engaged in a specific visualization practice. She would imagine herself winning exactly $112 million, not just any jackpot, but that specific amount. She visualized how it would feel to win, imagining the details of receiving the check and experiencing the emotions of financial freedom. She didn't just do this once or twice. She made it a daily practice, immersing herself in the feeling of already having won. And when she did win, the exact amount she had visualized, it was not a coincidence, but a perfect demonstration of alignment with the pattern of prosperity she had established in her consciousness. This is the operation of divine law. The specific amount Stafford visualized, $112 million, existed as a possibility in the realm of pure potential. Through her consistent visualization, she aligned herself with that specific pattern, drawing it into her experience with the magnetic power of focused imagination. You can apply this same principle to any manifestation, including lottery winnings. The key is not just casual visualization, but immersive imagining that engages all your senses and emotions. You must see it, feel it, taste it, touch it in your imagination until it becomes more real to you than its absence. This is what the scripture means when it says, "Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Your faith, your absolute conviction in the reality of your good, gives substance to it in the invisible realm before it appears in the visible. Speak this affirmation with complete conviction. The pattern of my prosperity is established in divine mind. I align myself with this pattern through the power of my imagination. What I can conceive and believe, I can achieve with certainty. Feel the truth of these words penetrating every cell of your being. This is not wishful thinking or positive self-talk. This is you consciously aligning with the divine blueprint of your prosperity, activating the perfect pattern of abundance that already exists for you. When you purchase a lottery ticket with this consciousness, not with desperate hope or anxious longing, but with calm certainty that you are simply claiming what is already yours, you transform it from a game of chance to a demonstration of divine law. The world calls this luck. Those who understand divine law call it alignment, and this alignment is available to you right now, in this moment, as you absorb these words and allow them to transform your consciousness of prosperity forever. Now we come to the practical application of these principles, the specific methodology for selecting winning lottery numbers. This is not about random guessing or following superstitious hunches. It is about tapping into the infinite intelligence that knows all things, including the exact numbers that will manifest as winners in any lottery drawing. This infinite intelligence, some call it divine mind, others call it the superconscious, is not separate from you. It is the higher dimension of your own consciousness, the part of you that is one with all knowledge, all wisdom, all understanding. There is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth him understanding. This ancient wisdom reveals a profound truth. Through your connection with the divine, you have access to all knowledge, including knowledge that transcends time and space. The winning numbers for any lottery drawing already exist in the realm of pure potential. They are not determined by chance, but by divine law operating through the mathematical principles of the universe. And through your oneness with divine mind, you can access this knowledge, not through logical analysis or statistical probability, but through the intuitive faculty that connects you directly to infinite intelligence. Consider the fascinating case of Stefan Mandel, a Romanian economist who won the lottery 14 times using a mathematical formula he developed. While his approach was based on mathematical principles rather than spiritual ones, it demonstrates an important truth. Winning the lottery is not random when you understand the laws that govern it. But you don't need a PhD in mathematics to access winning numbers. You have something far more powerful, your direct connection to the infinite intelligence that knows all things. This connection operates through your intuition, your inner guidance system that, when properly attuned, can lead you unerringly to your good. The key to accessing this intuitive guidance is twofold. First, you must quiet the analytical mind that relies on external data and logical reasoning. Second, you must heighten your receptivity to the subtle promptings of your inner guidance. Begin by creating a quiet space, free from distractions and analytical thinking. Close your eyes and take several deep breaths, allowing your mind to become still and receptive. Then, with calm certainty, ask to be shown the winning numbers for the specific lottery you intend to play. Do not strain or force this process. Simply maintain an attitude of open receptivity, knowing that the information already exists and is available to you. The numbers may come to you as visual images, as inner knowings, as physical sensations, or through external signs and synchronicities. When you receive impressions of specific numbers, record them without judgment or analysis. Do not second-guess or rationalize. The analytical mind will always try to intervene, suggesting that what you're receiving is merely random imagination. Gently set these doubts aside and maintain your receptivity. This is not a process of making up numbers. It is a process of receiving numbers that already exist in the field of infinite possibilities. The distinction is crucial. One is fantasy, the other is alignment with pre-existing reality. Some people find it helpful to enhance this receptivity through specific practices such as meditation, prayer, or dream work. Others discover that numbers come to them during ordinary activities when the analytical mind is occupied elsewhere, while showering, walking in nature, or falling asleep. The specific method is less important than the consciousness behind it. When you approach this process with absolute faith in your oneness with divine mind, with unwavering conviction that the information is available to you, you create the optimal conditions for clear reception. Speak this affirmation with complete trust. Divine intelligence knows the winning numbers, and through my oneness with this intelligence, I know them too. I receive this guidance clearly, confidently, and accurately. I trust the numbers that come to me through divine inspiration. Feel the truth of these words as you speak them. You are not creating a new reality. You are acknowledging a relationship with infinite intelligence that already exists. You are simply removing the barriers of doubt and separation that have prevented clear communication. When you select lottery numbers from this consciousness, not from desperation or wishful thinking, but from alignment with divine guidance, you transform the entire experience from gambling to spiritual demonstration. You are no longer playing against impossible odds. You are simply claiming what has already been set aside for you in the divine plan of your good. This is the science of winning numbers, not a science of probability and statistics, but a science of consciousness and alignment with infinite intelligence. It operates with perfect precision according to divine law, available to anyone who understands its principles and applies them with unwavering faith. In the divine economy, timing is everything. There is a perfect moment for the manifestation of every desire, a divine appointment set in the cosmic calendar for the delivery of your good. This timing is not arbitrary or random. It is part of the perfect pattern of your prosperity, aligned with the highest good of all concerned. Understanding and honoring this divine timing is crucial to winning the lottery or manifesting any other specific desire with consistency and grace. It requires a balance of active faith and patient allowing, of passionate desire and peaceful surrender. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. This wisdom from Ecclesiastes reveals a profound truth about manifestation. There is divine order in the universe, a perfect sequence of events that unfolds according to higher intelligence rather than human will alone. Many people miss their good because they try to force manifestation according to their own timing rather than aligning with divine timing. They demand immediate results, grow impatient when manifestation seems delayed, or give up just before the breakthrough moment arrives. The key to perfect timing lies in what might be called active patience, a state of consciousness that combines unwavering faith in the certainty of your good with peaceful acceptance of its unfolding according to divine order. Consider the remarkable story of Joan Ginther, who won 4 multi-million-dollar lottery prizes between 1993 and 2010. What makes her story especially intriguing is not just the multiple wins, but their timing. Each win came at approximately 7-year intervals, suggesting a pattern of manifestation aligned with cosmic cycles rather than random chance. While some have attributed Ginther's success to her background in statistics, she holds a PhD in mathematics from Stanford University, others recognize the possibility of a deeper pattern at work, divine timing operating through her consciousness in perfect order. The lesson here is profound. Winning the lottery consistently isn't just about selecting the right numbers, it's about playing at the right time, the divinely appointed time when all conditions are perfectly aligned for the manifestation of your good. How do you discern this perfect timing? Not through logical analysis or external advice, but through the same intuitive faculty that guides you to winning numbers. The divine intelligence that knows which numbers will win also knows when they will win. Both pieces of information are available to you through your connection with infinite mind. When you quiet the analytical mind and attune yourself to inner guidance, you may receive clear promptings about timing. A certain day may stand out in your consciousness. A specific lottery drawing may seem especially significant. You may experience what some call a knowing, an inner certainty that transcends logical reasoning. Trust these promptings. They are not random hunches or wishful thinking. They are communications from the infinite intelligence that orchestrates all manifestation according to perfect law. At the same time, release all anxiety about timing. Desperation repels, peaceful certainty attracts. When you know with absolute conviction that your good must come to you according to divine law, you can release the when to higher wisdom while maintaining unwavering faith in the what. Speak this affirmation with perfect trust. Divine timing governs the manifestation of my good. I trust the perfect unfolding of abundance in my life. My lottery winnings come to me with perfect timing, under grace, in ways that serve the highest good of all concerned. Feel the peace that comes with this surrender to divine timing. It is not passive resignation, it is active alignment with the cosmic forces that orchestrate all manifestation. It is you stepping into the flow of abundance rather than trying to force it according to human will alone. This balance of passionate desire and peaceful surrender, of active faith and patient allowing, creates the optimal conditions for consistent manifestation. It transforms lottery playing from anxious gambling to graceful receiving. Not occasionally, not sometimes, but every time you align with the perfect timing of prosperity. The universe is never late, never early, but always precisely on time with the delivery of your good. Trust this timing implicitly, and watch as the perfect pattern of your prosperity unfolds in ways more magnificent than your human mind could have planned. We now come to one of the most potent tools for manifesting lottery winnings or any other specific desire, the prosperity decree. This is a formal declaration of truth that aligns your entire being with the reality of your abundance. A decree differs from an affirmation in both power and purpose. An affirmation suggests a desired state. A decree establishes that state as present reality. An affirmation may help change your thinking. A decree transforms your entire consciousness from the deepest level. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. This biblical promise reveals the creative power of your word when spoken with absolute authority and unshakable faith. A decree, properly formulated and expressed, creates a vibrational template in the invisible realm that must, by divine law, manifest in your visible experience. The effectiveness of your prosperity decree depends on several key factors: the specific language used, the consciousness behind it, the frequency of its repetition, and the feeling nature with which it is infused. First, your decree must be stated in present tense, absolute terms. Not, I will win the lottery, or I am going to be wealthy, but I am now the recipient of abundant lottery winnings. Or, I am a magnet for specific, life-changing prosperity. The present tense establishes the reality of your good in the now moment, the only place where creation occurs. Second, your decree must be spoken with absolute authority, not as a hopeful request to a distant power, but as a command issued from your divine identity. You are not a beggar pleading for scraps from the universe's table. You are a divine being claiming your rightful inheritance of abundance. Third, your decree must be repeated consistently until it penetrates every level of your consciousness. A single powerful declaration can create a momentary alignment, but consistent repetition creates a permanent shift in your vibrational signature, making you a natural match for the abundance you seek. Finally, and most importantly, your decree must be infused with feeling, not just intellectual assent, but emotional conviction that resonates through your entire being. It is this feeling nature that gives your decree its magnetic power, drawing your good to you with irresistible force. I invite you now to participate in a powerful act of creation. In the comments section below, write this decree: I am a natural winner, aligned with infinite abundance. This simple act does something profound. It establishes a vibrational template in both your consciousness and the collective field. It declares to the universe and to your own deeper mind that you are claiming your good with absolute authority. Writing this decree is not just symbolic. It is a tangible expression of your creative power. It moves the decree from thought to word to action, engaging multiple levels of your being in the creative process. And when others see your decree, it creates a ripple effect in the collective consciousness, amplifying the vibration of abundance for all. Now let's formulate a complete prosperity decree specifically designed for consistent lottery winnings. Speak these words daily, preferably aloud, with absolute conviction. I am now aligned with the perfect pattern of lottery abundance. The exact amounts meant for me flow to me with perfect timing and divine precision. I recognize and follow my intuitive guidance to the specific numbers and drawings that are part of my prosperity plan. My winnings come to me easily, joyfully, and consistently under grace in perfect ways. I receive this abundance with gratitude, knowing it serves the highest good of all concerned. This is the truth of my being, and I accept it now as my living reality. As you speak this decree, feel its truth resonating through every cell of your body. See yourself already in possession of your winnings. Feel the emotions of gratitude and joy that accompany this manifestation. Know with absolute certainty that the invisible pattern is already established and must, by divine law, materialize in your visible experience. This decree, consistently applied with unwavering faith, creates a vibrational frequency that makes winning not a matter of chance, but a matter of alignment. It transforms lottery playing from gambling to a demonstration of spiritual law, not occasionally, not sometimes, but every time you engage with it from this consciousness. The power of your prosperity decree cannot be overstated. It is the formal announcement of your alignment with abundance, the authoritative command that sets in motion the forces of manifestation. Use it wisely, consistently, and with absolute conviction, and watch as the invisible becomes visible, as the potential becomes actual, as your good flows to you in ways that may seem miraculous to those who don't understand the perfect law you're applying. A crucial principle that many overlook in their pursuit of lottery winnings is the law of circulation. Abundance is not meant to be hoarded or stagnated. It is meant to flow through you as a channel of blessing to others. This circulation completes the circuit of prosperity, ensuring that your good continues to multiply and expand. Give, and it shall be given unto you. This biblical promise reveals the perfect law of circulation. What you give must return to you multiplied, not as a reward for virtue, but as the mathematical operation of divine law. Many who seek lottery winnings focus exclusively on receiving while ignoring the equally important aspect of giving. They create a blockage in the flow, like a dam across a river that prevents the natural movement of water. This blockage inevitably restricts their good, regardless of how perfectly they apply other prosperity principles. The law of circulation operates with perfect precision in every area of life. In nature, nothing hoards. The sun gives its energy, plants convert it and give oxygen, animals give carbon dioxide in return, and the cycle continues in perfect balance. Each giving makes possible the next receiving in an endless dance of abundance. Your financial prosperity follows the same pattern. When you give freely, joyfully, and strategically, not from obligation or fear, but from a consciousness of abundance, you open the channels for receiving on the same scale. This is not mystical or metaphorical. It is the practical operation of universal law. Consider the fascinating case of Andrew Jack Whitaker, who won a $315 million Powerball jackpot in 2002. At that time, the largest lottery prize ever won by a single ticket. What many don't know is that Whitaker was already a successful businessman worth approximately $17 million before his lottery win. He was known for his generous giving to various causes, establishing a foundation for children in need prior to his win, and continuing his charitable work with his lottery winnings. While Whitaker's story included both triumphs and tragedies after his win, it illustrates an important pattern. The consciousness of circulation, of both giving and receiving, was established in his life before the massive lottery win manifested. He understood, at some level, that wealth flows to those who allow it to flow through them. How does this principle apply practically to winning the lottery consistently? It means that you must establish the circulation of your current resources, whatever they may be, before expecting larger prosperity to flow into your experience. You cannot hoard pennies and expect millions to find their way to you. The vibrational patterns are incompatible. This doesn't mean giving away all your resources or making unwise financial decisions. It means establishing a consistent pattern of strategic giving that aligns with your prosperity consciousness. This might be a percentage of your income dedicated to causes that inspire you, unexpected gifts that meet specific needs, or investments in people and projects that expand prosperity consciousness in the world. The amount is less important than the consciousness behind it. Grudging giving from a sense of obligation creates a consciousness of lack that repels prosperity. Joyful giving from a sense of abundance creates a consciousness of wealth that attracts more of the same. Speak this affirmation with conviction. I am a channel for divine abundance. Money flows to me and through me with perfect ease. As I give joyfully and receive gratefully, the circle of my prosperity expands without limit. Feel the liberation in these words. You are not dependent on lottery winnings to establish your prosperity. You are already in the flow of abundance, expressing at your current level and expanding continuously as you maintain the circulation. When you purchase lottery tickets from this consciousness, not as a desperate attempt to escape lack, but as one of many channels through which abundance can flow to you, you align yourself with the perfect pattern of winning. You become a natural match for the very frequencies of prosperity you seek to experience. The circulation of abundance is not just a spiritual principle, it is a practical strategy for winning the lottery every time you play. It completes the circuit of manifestation, ensuring that what you visualize internally can materialize externally without obstruction. Give freely, receive gratefully, and watch as the mighty river of abundance flows with increasing power through every area of your life, including consistent, divine right lottery winnings that come to you with perfect timing and in perfect ways. We arrive now at the culmination of all these principles, the ultimate strategy for winning the lottery every time you engage with it. This strategy integrates all the elements we've explored into a cohesive approach that transforms lottery playing from gambling to spiritual demonstration. The foundation of this strategy is your consciousness, your absolute knowing that abundance is your divine right, that the perfect pattern of your prosperity already exists in the invisible realm, and that you are one with the infinite intelligence that guides you to your good with perfect precision. From this foundation, the strategy unfolds in specific, practical steps that anyone can apply, regardless of their current financial circumstances or past experiences with lottery playing. First, establish a daily practice of immersive visualization. See yourself not just winning the lottery, but living the life that lottery winnings make possible. See the specific amount in your bank account. Feel the emotions of financial freedom. Experience the joy of blessing others with your abundance. Make this visualization so real, so vivid, that it becomes more tangible to you than its absence. Second, formulate and consistently declare your prosperity decree. Speak it aloud daily, preferably multiple times, with absolute authority and emotional conviction. Let it penetrate every level of your consciousness until it becomes the dominant vibrational pattern of your being. Third, establish the circulation of your current resources, creating a clear channel for greater abundance to flow into your experience. Give strategically, joyfully, and consistently, knowing that what flows out must return multiplied according to divine law. Fourth, attune yourself to divine guidance regarding specific numbers and timing. Create regular periods of quiet receptivity wherein you can receive clear, intuitive promptings from the infinite intelligence that knows all things, including the exact coordinates of your prosperity in time and space. Fifth, play the lottery from a consciousness of already having won. Not from desperation or anxious hope, but from calm certainty that you are simply going through the physical motions that correspond to what has already been established in the invisible realm. Sixth, maintain an attitude of gratitude regardless of immediate results. Gratitude is not just a virtuous response to receiving. It is a magnetic force that draws more good into your experience. Give thanks for your winnings before they materialize in physical form, knowing that your gratitude accelerates their manifestation. Finally, persist with unwavering faith, regardless of temporary appearances. Understand that manifestation unfolds according to divine timing, not human impatience. What appears as delay is often divine positioning, arranging all conditions for the perfect expression of your good in ways that serve the highest benefit of all concerned. This integrated strategy, consistently applied with absolute conviction, aligns you so perfectly with the vibrational frequency of prosperity that winning becomes your natural experience, not as an occasional stroke of luck, but as the consistent operation of divine law through your consciousness. Remember the words of the psalmist, "Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart." This is not a religious platitude, but a revelation of universal law. When you align yourself with the divine pattern of your prosperity, when your delight is in the perfect law rather than anxious striving, your desires must manifest. It cannot be otherwise. Speak this final affirmation with complete conviction. I am perfectly aligned with lottery prosperity. Every ticket I purchase is a winner in divine mind before it manifests in physical form. I claim my winnings with calm certainty. knowing they come to me by divine right, under grace, in perfect ways. Feel the absolute truth of these words. They are not wishful thinking or positive affirmation. They are the declaration of what is already established in the realm of pure potential, waiting only for your recognition and acceptance to manifest in visible form. The transformation is complete. You have moved from uncertain hoping to certain knowing, from anxious gambling to spiritual demonstration, from occasional winning to consistent prosperity. You have discovered how to win the lottery every time you engage with it, not through manipulating external conditions, but through aligning with the perfect pattern that already exists for your abundant good. This is your divine inheritance. Claim it now with absolute conviction, and watch as the invisible becomes visible, as the potential becomes actual, as your prosperity manifests with a precision and magnitude that may seem miraculous to those who don't understand the perfect law you're applying. The time for limited thinking is over. The era of lack consciousness is finished. From this moment forward, you move through life as one who knows the truth, that abundance is your natural state, that prosperity flows to you by divine right, and that winning is not occasional luck, but your consistent experience under grace in perfect ways.
Every word we speak is a seed sown into the invisible. The soil of spirit knows no waste. It brings forth exactly what is planted. Some plant weeds of doubt, fear, and lack, and wonder why their garden grows wild with thorns. Others, conscious of the law, scatter words of abundance, faith, and certainty, and find their paths paved with gold. The tongue is not idle. It is a wand, and with every decree, one sets the unseen forces in motion. The world calls money a struggle. It says, "Work by the sweat of your brow and you may earn a little." But divine law says, "Speak, and it is done. Command, and it comes." For money is only a symbol, a token of circulation. It flows as the river flows, as freely as the air we breathe. When the mind clutches and the hand closes, the stream seems to stop. But the truth is there is no stop. There is only a man or woman standing with their back to the river, refusing to turn. So we are told, say this law. Declare your right. Do not whisper your desire like a beggar. Speak it as one who knows the kingdom is already theirs. The gold in the mountain, the bills in the bank, the coins in 1,000 pockets, all wait to be drawn by the magnet of your word. The supply is not limited, nor is it earned by toil alone. It answers to the vibration of command. Some will say, "But how can I take money into my own hands without schemes, without struggle, without the pushing of the world?" The answer is simple: by aligning with the higher law, which never fails. When you affirm, "I am a channel of wealth. I am supplied in all my needs. Money comes to me through expected and unexpected avenues, and I hold it joyfully in my hands," you are not creating something new. You are uncovering what was hidden, calling forth what has always belonged to you. Every fear of poverty, every anxious glance at a purse, is a shadow blocking the sun. The law has no poverty in it. The law is rich, radiant, and immediate. You are not here to scrape and scramble. You are here to demonstrate the treasure house of the Spirit, to prove that words are substance, that faith is the hand that reaches out and takes. So then, say this law. Stand where you are and decree, "I now receive money in perfect ways. The channels are open, the stream flows, and I take it with thanksgiving." Imagine the coin already in your palm, the note already in your pocket, the overflowing purse already your possession. Act as if it were done, for it is done. The law never hears in the future. It hears only now. And to the voice that speaks with conviction, it gives without measure. Words are never idle things. They move as currents in the unseen, setting into motion forces we cannot see with the physical eye yet feel with the soul. Every word that leaves the lips is a seed planted in the fertile soil of the infinite, and the harvest always matches the seed. If one sows the seed of doubt, they reap confusion. If one sows complaint, they harvest more reasons to complain. If one sows despair, the garden grows heavy with thorns and choking vines. But if one sows words of faith, words of radiant expectation, words that carry the fragrance of prosperity and joy,
then the ground bursts forth in a rich harvest of supply, harmony, and opportunity. The law never falters, it never forgets. It gives back to each according to the word spoken. Most people speak without knowing the creative weight of their speech. They say, I am poor, I am tired, I never get a chance. Money always slips away. And they marvel that life gives them exactly what they declare. They forget the tongue is not a toy, it is a tool. It is a key to the invisible vault. When you speak of lack, you close the vault doors with your own words. When you speak of abundance, you swing them wide open and call the treasure to appear. Every casual word, every repeated phrase, every story you tell yourself about your life is a seed going into the ground of spirit. There is no idle chatter in the kingdom of law. Everything is creative, everything is recorded, everything is answered. Words are seeds because they carry vibration. A seed of corn does not look like a stalk, yet hidden within it is the form and shape of the harvest. So too, a word may seem small and fleeting, but it holds in it the pattern of the experience it will grow into. When someone says, I can never afford that, they plant a seed of limitation. It may feel harmless, but it grows into closed doors and empty purses. When someone declares, money comes to me freely and easily, they plant a seed of circulation. It grows into open channels, surprising gifts, and checks arriving in the mail. The difference lies not in circumstance, but in the seed sown. Think of the farmer. He does not curse the earth and demand it bring forth harvest without sowing. He knows the soil is obedient, that it will return whatever is planted. He sows corn and expects corn. He sows wheat and expects wheat. He does not scatter thorns and then weep when the field cuts his hands. Yet so many scatter words of want and wonder why lack greets them at every turn. The law is not unjust, it is exact. What goes in must come out. Words are the packets of seed that decide the crop of life. This is why it is said, guard the tongue, for it carries the power of life and death. Not death of the body, but death of joy, of opportunity, of supply, when words of lack are sown. Not life as a mere beating heart, but life as expansion, growth, and abundance, when words of prosperity are spoken. The tongue is the rudder of the ship, small yet mighty, turning the whole course of a life. If one continually says, I am guided, I am supplied, I am prospered, the ship moves steadily towards safe harbors of wealth and opportunity. If one continually says, I never have enough, the ship drifts toward rocky shoals of struggle and debt. Words shape the voyage. It is important to understand that the soil of spirit is always neutral. It does not choose for you, it only produces what is planted. Just as the earth will give thorns or roses depending on the seed, so the law gives lack or abundance depending on the spoken word. Spirit does not judge, it only reflects. This is why idle talk of poverty is so dangerous. Many people say things lightly, not realizing that every repetition etches a deeper groove in consciousness. Repeated words become belief, and belief becomes form. The casual complaint becomes a habit, the habit becomes conviction, and conviction draws the very thing complained of. It begins with words. The wise one plants carefully. They use words as gardeners use precious seeds, not scattering carelessly, but placing them with intention. They say, I am prosperous in all my ways. Even if the purse feels light, they say, everything I desire is on its way to me. Even if appearances seem barren. They speak with faith, not because they see the harvest, but because they know the law of sowing and reaping cannot fail. The harvest is inevitable when the seed is good. The tongue that speaks abundance waters the ground daily with living vibrations. The magic lies in the consistency. A seed planted once may sprout, but it must be nurtured with continual affirmations. Each word is a drop of water, a ray of sunlight to the seed of prosperity. If one speaks abundance in the morning, but complains of bills in the afternoon, they are watering with sunlight and poison alternately, and the growth is stunted. To see the full bloom, one must persist in sowing only good seed, only prosperous words, only affirmations of wealth and ease. When this persistence is maintained, the subconscious accepts it as truth, and the outer life reshapes itself to reflect it. Consider the child who speaks boldly without fear. They say, "I will be rich," or "I will have this toy," and they expect the universe to comply. Their words are seeds planted in innocent faith, and often the thing comes to them in surprising ways. Adults, hardened by doubt, plant seeds with hesitation, watering them with disbelief until nothing grows. To reclaim prosperity, one must return to the childlike power of words spoken with simple certainty. It is not effort that produces the harvest, it is alignment with the law. One need not push or scheme. They must only sow rightly and trust the soil. Every spoken word of prosperity calls forth unseen workers, opening channels, moving circumstances, arranging opportunities. The world may see coincidence, but the wise one knows it is the outworking of seeds sown long before. The law is perfect, exact, and tireless in its execution. Thus, words are not mere sounds, they are forces. They carry within them the design of the future. To speak lack is to order lack, to speak wealth is to summon wealth. The moment the tongue releases a word, the unseen begins its work. Seeds are sown every hour, every day. And life is nothing more than the garden each person has spoken into being. To know this is to hold the key to transformation. For one may at any moment choose to sow new seed, to change the harvest of tomorrow by the words spoken today. Money is a symbol of circulation, a visible sign of an invisible current that moves endlessly, like rivers flowing into oceans, like the breath moving in and out without strain. When people say that money is hard, that money is scarce, that it must be gripped tightly or it will vanish, they are turning against the current and creating dams within themselves. They forget that money is not stagnant substance but flowing energy, and energy never ceases to move. It is meant to circulate as blood circulates through the body, as sap rises through the tree, as tides ebb and flow. The universe is circulation itself, and money is only one of its many channels. The tragedy of most lives is not that money is absent, but that circulation is blocked by fear. Fear makes the hand close tight, fear makes the heart shrink, fear makes the mind whisper, "There is not enough." The moment fear speaks, the flow seems to dry up, for the individual has stepped out of alignment with the natural stream. But the stream itself has never ceased. It is infinite, eternal, inexhaustible. There is as much money in the world as there is water in the ocean, and like the ocean, it is not confined to one shore. It moves, it spreads, it returns. To understand this is to rest in the truth that money cannot be lost, it can only be refused. When one releases the clutch of fear and opens to circulation, money moves as easily as breath. Just as the lungs do not hoard one breath, but release it to make room for the next, so must money be allowed to come and go. To hold it in fear is like holding one breath and refusing to exhale, eventually suffocation comes. But when money is allowed to flow, spent joyfully, given freely, received gratefully, it multiplies, it returns, it gathers speed. The circulation grows wider and deeper, and one finds themselves living in abundance without strain. Many people believe that money is earned only by sweat and struggle, but this belief is the voice of the world, not the voice of the law. Money is the outer token of circulation, and circulation obeys vibration, not toil. The man who labors in bitterness, believing he is underpaid and unworthy, often finds himself living hand to mouth, no matter the hours he spends. The one who works with joy, declaring constantly, "I am a magnet for prosperity. Money comes to me in countless ways," finds doors opening, opportunities arising, and streams of wealth flowing to him beyond the scope of wages. The difference lies in the vibration. One aligns with circulation, the other resists it. Money is not meant to be a master but a servant. It is not meant to be worshipped nor despised. It is a medium, a bridge, a carrier of circulation, no different than electricity lighting a lamp or water turning a mill. When people call money evil, they cut themselves off from the stream, as though damming a river, and then weeping for thirst. When people cling to money in worship, they stagnate, as though hoarding water in a jar until it grows full. The wise attitude is neutrality, seeing money as a river that must be honored by letting it flow. Spend it with joy and it returns. Give it with faith and it multiplies. Receive it with gratitude, and it circulates more freely. The proof of circulation is seen everywhere in nature. The trees release oxygen, the lungs receive it, the breath goes back into the air. The earth sends rain to the sea rises in vapor, clouds form and water returns to the earth. The sun gives light, plants absorb it. Animals eat the plants, and life continues in endless circulation. Money is a mirror of this same eternal law. It is not hoarded by the universe. It is passed along, exchanged, transformed, and renewed. Those who step into alignment with this truth find money moving toward them from unexpected channels, as though invisible currents bring gifts to their door. The sense of lack comes only when circulation is resisted. A person who fears bills, who dreads expenses, who clings to every coin as though it were their last, sends out a vibration of resistance. They are like a man standing in the middle of a flowing stream, clutching a handful of water while refusing to dip again. The stream keeps moving, but he insists it has dried. Another, standing in the same stream, opens his hands freely, scooping, releasing, scooping again. His supply is endless because he trusts circulation. The stream is impartial, it serves according to openness. To align with circulation, one must change their words and feelings around money. Instead of saying, money goes out faster than it comes in, they must say, money flows to me and through me in perfect balance. Instead of saying, I cannot afford this, they must declare, my supply is limitless, and I always have what I need. Instead of spending with dread, they must spend with joy, blessing the money as it goes, knowing it carries the seed of return. Every word spoken, every thought entertained, either tightens or loosens the channel of circulation. The joy of circulation is that it does not depend on human effort alone. The law does not ask, how hard did you work? It asks only, what vibration have you sown? There are countless stories of people receiving unexpected gifts, inheritances, opportunities, and surprises, not because they labored beyond strength, but because they aligned with the circulation of spirit. They sowed seeds of generosity, of gratitude, of faith, and the stream responded by widening its flow. Others who labor without joy find their channels narrow, their supply scarce, not because they lack effort, but because they resist the law of circulation with fear and complaint. When one understands circulation, there is no fear of spending, no fear of giving, no fear of releasing money. They know that every dollar released is like a seed scattered, destined to return multiplied. Just as the farmer does not weep when planting seeds in the ground, but rejoices in expectation of the harvest, so the wise one does not cling in fear when money goes out but blesses its journey, knowing it must circle back in greater measure. This attitude creates freedom, ease, and constant flow. Circulation is not limited to money alone, it is the principle of life itself. The one who gives love freely receives love abundantly. The one who shares kindness is surrounded by kindness. The one who praises finds themselves praised. Money is only one expression of this universal law, but it is often the clearest mirror of how one relates to circulation. If a person fears money, clings to it, curses it, they reveal their relationship with life itself as one of resistance. If they allow money to flow joyfully, they show their trust in life's endless current. Thus, money as circulation is not a lesson in finance, but a lesson in faith. It teaches that the universe holds nothing back, that all things move in rhythm, that every outflow prepares for an inflow, and every inflow invites another outflow. To trust this rhythm is to live free from fear of poverty, free from the illusion of lack, resting in the certainty that circulation never ceases. The stream flows, the current moves, the river carries all who open their hands to it. To speak with authority is to remember that the voice is not a mere vibration of air, but a decree to the unseen, a command that sets in motion powers beyond the visible world. Words spoken without conviction carry little weight, like a feather cast into the wind, drifting and scattered. But words spoken as law, words spoken with certainty and authority, carry the force of creation itself. They impress the subconscious, they summon the invisible, they draw substance into form. Authority is not loudness, It is not forcefulness of tone, it is inner knowing. The calm assurance that what is spoken has already been received in the invisible and is merely awaiting its manifestation in the visible. When one claims wealth, they must claim it as their rightful inheritance, not as a beggar asking alms. To beg is to affirm separation, to say, I do not have, but maybe I will be given. To command is to affirm possession, to say, I already have, and it is now appearing. The authority of the word transforms desire into demonstration. Without authority, words remain wishes. With authority, they become decrees. The universe does not respond to wavering requests, it responds to the tone of certainty, the vibration of unshakable faith. Every soul is heir to the infinite treasury of spirit. Wealth is not given to a select few, it belongs to all who know the law of claiming. But claiming must be done with the voice of authority. A child of a king does not plead for bread at the table, they sit and eat. Knowing the food is theirs by right, so too, one must speak to money, and to supply not as an outsider but as an heir. When affirmations are spoken with hesitation, as though one is unsure if they will be answered, the current remains weak. When affirmations are spoken as though the matter were already settled, the current rushes to fulfill. Authority closes the gap between the invisible and the visible. To speak with authority is to deny appearances. Appearances often whisper lack, debt, emptiness of purse, unpaid bills, barren accounts. If one speaks according to appearances, they bind themselves to the very lack they see. But the one who speaks with authority ignores appearances and declares truth. They say, my supply is abundant, money flows to me. I hold it in my hands now, even when the evidence of the senses says otherwise. Authority is not moved by appearances. It speaks the unseen as though it were already here. It is the voice of the master, not the servant, commanding the outer to obey the inner. Consider how often people speak without authority about their finances. They say, I hope something comes in, or maybe things will improve, or if I am lucky, money might appear. Such words are powerless because they are spoken from doubt. They carry no vibration of certainty. So the universe has nothing to work with. Compare this with the person who says, money is flowing to me now, opportunities are opening. I am prospered beyond measure. These words, spoken with authority, carry the vibration of command. They tell the unseen to take shape, and it must obey. Authority comes from alignment with the higher law. It is not personal force or willpower. To will something by strain is to fight the current, but to speak with authority is to align with the current and direct it. Authority is the voice of the law itself spoken through the individual. When one realizes that the spirit within is the source of all supply, they no longer hesitate. They know that to speak is to call forth what is already theirs. Authority is born of union with this truth, and once born, it cannot be shaken by appearances or doubt. The vibration of authority is felt within the words. When affirmations are spoken without conviction, they may sound correct but lack power. The mind still doubts, the heart still fears, and the words are like hollow shells. But when authority is present, the words vibrate with substance. They are alive, magnetic, charged with energy. The subconscious accepts them instantly, and the outer world begins to shift. Authority is not repetition alone, it is the spirit behind the repetition. One sentence spoken with authority is worth more than 1,000 weak phrases murmured without faith. Authority is also persistence. To speak once and then fall back into fear is to weaken the current. To speak again and again, always with certainty, always with the tone of command, is to build momentum until the unseen crystallizes into form. Just as a king does not repeat a decree because he doubts it will be carried out, but only because it must be enforced in every corner, so the individual repeats affirmations not from fear, but from reinforcement of authority. Each repetition strengthens the vibration until manifestation is inevitable. To develop authority, one must train the tongue to speak only truth. Never lack idle words of poverty weaken authority. When a person jokes, I'm always broke, or sighs, I can't afford it, they give power to weakness. Authority requires discipline, the refusal to let any word of lack cross the lips. Instead, every word must be rich, strong, filled with certainty of abundance. Over time, this discipline builds inner conviction, and conviction radiates through every affirmation. Authority is not merely adopted, it is cultivated by practice. Speaking with authority also means speaking as if the thing is already accomplished. One must not say, "I will be wealthy," for that places wealth in the future, always out of reach. Authority speaks in the present tense. "I am wealthy, I am supplied. I hold the money in my hands." The law hears only now, never tomorrow. To speak in the future is to postpone forever. To speak in the present is to command manifestation. Authority knows no delay, it knows only the eternal now. And it calls forth supply into the moment of now. There is power in the spoken word when it carries vision. Authority is not cold repetition. It is the fire of imagination united with speech. When one says, "I have money in abundance," they must feel it, picture it, embody it. The voice carries this vision, and the unseen responds. Words spoken without vision are flat, but words spoken with inner sight are alive. Authority is the union of word and image, voice and vision, thought and feeling. Together they create a vibration too strong to be denied. When words are spoken with authority, the very atmosphere shifts. Others feel it, though they may not understand why. The person who speaks with authority radiates confidence, assurance, calm dominion. They walk as one who knows the wealth of the kingdom is already theirs. Their voice carries weight. Their declarations stir faith in others. Their presence itself becomes magnetic. Authority is contagious, it awakens prosperity in those who hear it. To speak with authority is to become not only a magnet for wealth, but also a beacon, showing others that abundance is their rightful inheritance as well. Fear is the great thief of supply. It hides behind the face of prudence, it whispers in the voice of caution, it dresses itself as wisdom, but in truth it is the shadow that blocks the flow of abundance. Fear says, "There is not enough," and instantly the channel narrows. Fear says, "What if I lose what little I have?" and instantly the hand closes tight, cutting off circulation. Fear says, "Money is hard to come by," and instantly the current slows to a trickle. Fear is not power in itself, it is only a negation of power, but because it blinds the mind, it seems to control. Where fear rules, lack follows, for fear denies the eternal truth of infinite supply. Faith, on the other hand, is the open gate. Faith says, "I am supplied in all things," and the current rushes in. Faith says, "Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways," and new channels appear. Faith says, "I rejoice in my abundance," and joy multiplies what is already present. Faith is the hand stretched out to receive, the heart expanded to contain, the mind lifted above appearances into truth. Fear shrinks, faith expands. Fear limits, faith enlarges. Fear withers the soil. Faith waters it until it blooms. Consider how fear grips the world. Whole nations tremble at the thought of poverty. Whole societies build walls of anxiety around money. People wake at night to count their coins, worry over bills, imagine loss before it even arrives. Yet all the while, the river of supply flows untouched, unchanged, infinite as ever. The poverty they dread is not in the river. It is in the fear that turns them away from it. They stand beside the stream and cry that there is no water, refusing to bend down and cup their hands. Faith bends without hesitation and drinks deeply, knowing the source is inexhaustible. Fear is often rooted in memory. A person who once lost money imagines they will always lose again. A child who grew up in lack believes scarcity is natural. A worker who lived years with meager wages assumes wealth belongs only to others. These memories carve grooves in the mind, and words of fear flow through those grooves until they seem unbreakable. But faith breaks the pattern. Faith says, "The past is not the present. The past does not dictate my future. I live now in a universe of endless supply." Faith cuts new grooves, new channels through which abundance can pour. Fear thrives on appearances. When the purse is light, fear says, "This is the truth. This emptiness is all there is." Faith looks at the same purse and says, "Though it appears empty, the unseen is already filling it, and soon my hand will feel the weight of it. Fear measures by the visible and declares lack, but faith measures by the invisible and declares plenty. The one who listens to fear remains bound by appearances, while the one who listens to faith commands appearances to change. Fear loves to disguise itself as reason. It says, be realistic, there is only so much to go around. It says, save every penny, for you may never have more. It says, do not hope too much, for you will only be disappointed. But reason without faith is only the echo of fear. True reason acknowledges that life itself is abundance, that nature wastes nothing and yet withholds nothing. The sun shines freely. The rain falls generously. The earth yields crops in endless cycles. Faith looks to these patterns and says, as it is in nature, so it is in my life. I live in an infinite universe, and therefore my supply is infinite. A fear contracts the imagination. It makes one see only debt, only loss, only empty cupboards. Faith expands imagination until it sees opportunities, gifts, unexpected channels. A fearful mind is blind to doors opening, because it is too busy watching the ground for cracks. A faithful mind sees doors where others see walls, sees treasures where others see emptiness. Fear sees limits, faith sees possibilities. Fear cannot create, it can only destroy. When a person speaks from fear, they affirm lack. They plant seeds of poverty, they invite more of what they dread. They say, I can't afford this, and life echoes back, you can't afford this. They say, money never comes to me, and life responds, money never comes to you. Their words, born of fear, become law faith creates. Faith says, I have more than enough, and life multiplies. Faith says, money flows to me constantly, and channels open. Faith says, I am rich in every way, and abundance begins to manifest. Words charged with fear build walls, words charged with faith build bridges. The subtlety of fear lies in its persistence. It comes again and again, whispering doubts, stirring anxieties. It says, what if the money does not come? What if something goes wrong? What if I fail? The only answer is to meet fear with faith, word for word, thought for thought. Each time fear whispers, faith must declare. Each time doubt rises, truth must be spoken. Authority lies not in the absence of fear, but in the refusal to believe it. Faith does not wait until fear disappears, it speaks over fear until fear is silenced. Fear teaches people to hoard. They hold money tightly, fearing to let it go, but in doing so they choke the flow. Money, like water, must circulate to remain fresh. Hoarding in fear is like damming a stream. The water stagnates. Faith spends with joy, gives with gladness, and receives with gratitude. Faith knows that every outflow prepares for inflow, that nothing released in trust can fail to return multiplied. Fear cries, if I give I will have less. Faith declares, as I give, I receive more. The fearful hand remains empty, the faithful hand is filled again and again. Fear breeds envy, the belief that if others prosper, there will be less for oneself. It watches another's success with bitterness, saying, why them and not me? But faith rejoices in another's prosperity, knowing it proves the law at work and therefore confirms one's own supply is certain. Fear isolates, faith unites. Fear sees competition. Faith sees abundance enough for all. Every heart must choose whether to live under the rule of fear or under the rule of faith. Fear binds with chains of lack, faith opens gates of supply. Fear argues with appearances, faith declares the unseen. Fear waits for evidence, faith creates evidence. Fear diminishes, faith multiplies. Fear paralyzes the hand, faith stretches it out. Where fear speaks, the channel closes. But where faith affirms, the floodgates open and abundance flows without measure. To act as if now is to step into the rhythm of the law, which knows nothing of waiting, nothing of delay, nothing of tomorrow. The law hears only the present moment. It does not answer to, I will be rich someday, or, I hope abundance comes tomorrow. For such words are always postponing, always casting the good into a future that never arrives. The present is the only place creation occurs, the only time when power moves. To act as if now is to collapse the distance between desire and manifestation, to embody the wealth, the freedom, The joy as though it were already established, because in truth it is. Every demonstration begins with assumption. To assume is to claim inwardly. To stand in the state of already having, already being, already holding. When one assumes, they impress the subconscious with reality, and the subconscious, obedient to every impression, builds outer conditions to match the inner state. To assume wealth is to think, speak, and move as one already prosperous. To assume lack is to act as though abundance were always absent, and the outer reflects accordingly. The choice is constant, to assume the good as now or to delay it by believing it belongs to the future. Acting as if now is not pretense, it is alignment. Pretending says, I don't have, but I'll pretend I do. Alignment says, I have already in the unseen, and I align with it here and now. Pretending is play, but alignment is power. The law does not deal in fantasy, it deals in vibration. When you vibrate as if you already possess wealth, you harmonize with the frequency of wealth, and it must appear. When you vibrate as if you are always lacking, you harmonize with poverty, and poverty appears. Acting as if now tunes the whole being to the current of abundance. The body responds to assumption. A person who fears poverty walks with heaviness, shoulders bent, voice low. A person who assumes wealth stands tall, speaks with assurance, radiates calm. The subconscious reads these signals, and so does the world. Opportunities, people, and conditions are drawn to the vibration one embodies. To act as if now is to carry the air of prosperity. To conduct oneself as one who already holds the money in hand, who already enjoys the freedom, who already lives in the mansion of abundance. This embodiment becomes a magnet that attracts matching experiences. Many say, I will act prosperous when I have prosperity. But this is reversal. For prosperity comes when it is claimed, not before. If a farmer said, I will plant when I see the harvest, no crop would ever grow. The seed is the acting as if, the harvest is the result. To act poor because the purse is empty is to plant more emptiness. To act rich while the purse seems light is to plant abundance. Every smile in the face of want, every confident step taken without visible means, every declaration of wealth spoken while appearances deny it, is a seed of prosperity sown in the soil of the present moment. Acting as if now requires words that affirm the present. One must say, I am wealthy, not, I will be wealthy. One must declare, I receive money now, not, I hope it comes soon. The vibration of now charges the affirmation with power, while the vibration of the future leaves it always just beyond reach. Even in the smallest matters, one must claim in the present tense. When a bill arrives, instead of saying, I cannot pay this yet, faith says, this bill is already paid in the invisible, and the money appears now. By speaking in the present, the subconscious is instructed to provide now. Acting as if now also involves gratitude. Gratitude is the proof of faith. To give thanks for something before it appears is to declare, I know it is already mine. The grateful heart does not beg, it rejoices in what it has received though the outer eye has not yet seen it. Gratitude in advance is one of the most powerful ways to act as if now. Each word of thanks sends a signal of fulfillment, and fulfillment attracts its own likeness. The imagination must also act as if now. Instead of picturing wealth as something far off, the mind must dwell on images of already having, already holding, already enjoying. To imagine receiving money someday is to cast it away. To imagine holding it now, counting it, spending it, blessing it, is to bring the image into the present and impress it upon the subconscious. The stronger the image, the faster the manifestation. Imagination is rehearsal for reality, and the subconscious takes rehearsal as fact. Action in the outer world must reflect the inner assumption. If one claims abundance but behaves in fear, hoarding every coin, the contradiction delays the demonstration. To act as if now may mean giving freely, spending joyfully, sharing generously, even when appearances suggest caution. Each act of generosity says, I trust my supply now. Each joyful purchase says, I live in abundance now. The outer act reinforces the inner state, and the universe matches both. The rhythm of now requires consistency. To claim abundance one day and fall into fear the next is to sow and uproot in turn, leaving the field bare. Acting as if now must be a continual stance, not a momentary effort. It is not a phrase spoken once but a state embodied. To live daily as though the wealth were already manifest. To speak daily as though supply were constant. To think daily as though abundance were secure. This persistence carves the pattern deep until the outer must conform. Children embody this principle naturally. When a child says, "I will have this toy," they often play as though it were already theirs, imagining it in their hands, rejoicing in it before it arrives. Often the toy comes, through gift or chance, because their innocent assumption impressed the unseen. Adults lose this power by filling themselves with doubt, speaking of delays, worrying over appearances. To reclaim childlike certainty is to regain the ease of manifestation. Acting as if now also dissolves waiting. Waiting is heavy with resistance, filled with the sense of not yet. To wait is to affirm delay. To act as if now is to erase waiting. To step directly into possession. It lifts the heart out of postponement into certainty, and certainty is magnetic. The energy of delay repels. The energy of now attracts. When appearances contradict the assumption, the test of faith arises. The purse may still be light, the bills may still pile. The accounts may still look empty, but acting as if now means holding fast to the state of abundance regardless. It is the refusal to let appearances dictate reality. It is the insistence that the unseen truth of wealth is more real than the seen shadow of lack. This firmness builds power, and power calls forth supply. The universe always responds to the vibration of now. It never hears later. It never hears someday. When one says, "I am," the law answers. When one says, "I will be," the law waits. When one says, "I hope," the law pauses. But when one says, "It is done now," the unseen moves instantly to reveal itself. To act as if now is to live in the eternal present, where all good already exists, to step into the current of supply, and to embody wealth until wealth itself must appear.